Hello and welcome to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say hi, Rob.
Hi, Rob.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns.
Wait. We don't need any more burns. I read those burns in there.
More burns.
I saw what you were saying, Chad. I can play Magic sometimes, okay?
I was saying more burns.
I see all.
Make sure to tag at Star City Games so Rob can see them and send his favorites and Corey's least favorites over to us. Today, we've got quite the challenge for young Corey Baumeister.
I'm scared. I'm frightened.
I'm kind of scared too, to be honest. We're going to be doing a gauntlet here with Guillaume Wafatapa's control list that he did very well with last weekend. Took second place in the challenge on Saturday, or first place in the challenge on Saturday, second place in the super qualifier on Sunday.
Yeah.
So a very strong weekend here. A couple of cards different. Corey's going to be playing the most recent list, which is from the super qualifier. And you know, we haven't seen a lot of control recently in Modern.
Yeah.
You know, over the last couple of years, you saw quite a bit of it, especially with the unban of Jace and the printing of Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, and then Teferi Time Raveler. You know, it sort of gave that archetype a little bit more juice, a little more power. We've seen more control in Modern over the years than we used to see 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But since Modern Horizons 2, not so much. The rest of the format just got so efficient, and you know, the control decks had a hard time keeping up, and the metagame was so new. It was hard to predict exactly what you needed to be
that's a big factor.
built to beat. Yeah. So that's something that I know I've been waiting for, and I'm sure you have too, to see if somebody could figure out how to build control decks to work in this metagame. And we haven't really seen, any such deck break through, at least in the big events. You see control decks in league data and things like that.
Yeah.
Not
you
on
see everything in a deck dump, though. Yeah.
And this weekend from Wafatapa is really the first time we saw it. And the scary thing is, if you know anything about Guillaume's history in Magic, it's that he has one of the reputations as a player who builds very specific targeted decks for a certain metagame and decks that are geared towards the way he plays.
Yeah.
And he's a master,
Complete
and no
master.
one else is.
Yeah.
So it's generally been very difficult for us mortals to pick up Guillaume's decks and replicate his success with them.
But I'm going to try anyways. Yeah, it should be rough. But honestly, I think you said it right. With the fact that when a format is so new, it's really hard to pinpoint. Now the format is narrowing down, and not only is it narrowing down, the number of Urza Sagas is down. That was kind of the control killer right away, because that just, whenever you're just like, you got an obvious counter spell up, you got an obvious, cryptic command up or whatever, I'm just going to make Sagas. Maybe I'll Pithing Needle Planeswalker when Saga Chapter 3 goes off, and then make you deal with that, and then play other stuff. Whenever you can make your opponent blink first, when they're playing control, it's usually bad news for them. But we're seeing a little bit less Urza Saga than before. The food decks are gone. Titan's kind of gone, which is still kind of weird to me. I still don't truly get it. I see almost no Titan.
Unholy Heat is a big game.
Unholy Heat is pretty good. I have to agree. And now Dress Down, as well as the new card in the metagame, thanks to Aspiring Spike. But yeah, it makes sense why Control always does well about 2 months in, because then you really get to hone down on Modern. Will start to condense a bit. You still have to be like, okay, these are the aggro decks I have to plan for. These are the combo decks. It's not like, okay, it's this one deck. It's this one deck. It's usually 3 or 4, but you can kind of still narrow it down on that.
Yeah, because there's usually a bit of overlap, or there's at least there's either overlap in what the threats the decks are presenting to you, or there's overlap in your answers that they can answer multiple different types of threats. So,
exactly.
Are you
saying Regavan and DRC are just in every deck?
They're in a lot of them.
Yeah, that's actually true. It is kind of insane.
And, cheap removal also kills creatures in the in the Colossus Hammer decks and things like that. So here you see a lot of generic answers. It's an Azorius Control deck. So Counterspell, Archmage's Charm, or Heavy Blue. Lots of counterspells. A few Planeswalkers. And so nothing really looks out of the ordinary here. There's not any huge innovation. It's just a tight, good control list, and you're going to have to play incredibly well.
Yeah, that's true. One thing that does stand out to me right now is with all of these Regavan Murktide Regent style decks or even Death Shadow. All of those decks are very, very weak to Supreme Verdict. Flusterstorm is like the card of choice to be able to deal with these kind of effects, but Verdict being uncounterable is excellent, as well as 4 Teferis in this list screams out to me that it's just a great card in the metagame right now, and I really do think it is. There's not a ton of haste. The haste of Ragavan isn't a big deal if you're just attacking Teferi without getting the trigger, and then bouncing any of those 1-drops or bouncing Murktide is just excellent. So it makes sense that the deck is doing good now.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, I agree with you wholeheartedly on Supreme Verdict. This is a metagame where people are playing to the battlefield quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it's going to be really important, especially in this first matchup. We're going to be pitting it against Elementals, a deck that really does play hard to the battlefield.
Yeah.
So, this is going to play out a lot different than the previous Elementals matchups that we've played. It's usually been where the red cards have been really good, the Furies or the Solitudes, the removal. Here, that's not going to be very good. I'm really going to need early Risen Reefs, Omnaths, the grindy elements.
Yeah.
This is Canister's list. Fortunately, it has some Muldrifters now. Those are going to help out a lot in this matchup.
Yeah. And one thing for this, normally we do 2 pre and then head to post board. Against the control deck, I think we should do the traditional way. Play 1 game and then go, because you're going to have a lot of dead cards in a lot of matchups. Yeah. It's not as important for me, but, we don't want you drawing Furies, over
control
and over.
Decks also like the sideboard, too. So
that's true.
I'm with you. So we'll do 1 pre, 2 post. We're going to start with Elementals. I think as a deck that plays to the battlefield, you should be ahead here. I think this is a matchup that Control really wants to see, but I've got some good tools. I've got Creatures that generate card advantage. I've got Cavern of Souls, which is really nice to get by your counter spells. You do have some Spreading Seas that can turn them off.
Yep.
Spreading Seas also very good against Utopia Sprawl.
And Urza Saga being the number 1, I think that's the main reason for it, but great against Utopia Sprawl, good against good the bounce lands, like
returning.
Tron is, and Tron's coming back a lot. So, and Control has usually been destroyed by Tron, so we're gonna see if that happens a little bit later, but you ready to battle?
Let's do it. Let's start up with a little Elementals here. I have the marbles, so you'll be on the play.
Did you move those? I don't think they belong on that side.
Do they not?
Well, I mean, they rightfully should be, but I don't want them there.
Well, you know what you can do.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about you, Corey. Come on.
It's 33.3% repeating about me. It's all 3 of us. All right, I'll keep. This is, no hand's going to look amazing or anything, but...
Yeah, talk about that to me. No hand's going to look amazing. I think I keep this.
I have a Delta, and I'll pass to you. I love the land spread in my hand. It's pretty funny.
I will play a Flooded Stranded pass.
I will go to 19. I am going to get... Assume we might have 1 Triome. Maybe you just don't have to. You can just play all Hollowed Fountains.
There is a Rogran Triome. Helps out your Prismatic Endings and explosives.
That makes sense. That's nice to have 1 for those. I'm going to fetch that.
Yeah, when I was saying that would help if I remembered what Triumph colors were.
Yeah, you nailed it. You nailed it.
Look, I had a blue one. I don't know. I was there. Whatever.
You were close enough. All right, I'm going to play a Misty, and I'll pass to you.
I will also crack my fetch, go to 19.
Okay.
And I believe I should have a Ketria Triumph somewhere.
Let's hope not. Let's hope not.
Honestly, I might not.
Yeah, that deck does not want tap lands. Drawing that is a big liability, so it makes sense that you don't. But
Canister's gone with a Rogran instead of a Ketria. I guess that makes sense. I always think that these decks are more green than they are because the old standard versions were pretty heavy green.
Yeah,
like Cavaliers.
And because they play Utopia Sprawls, but that is not the land that you want on Utopia Sprawl. So that does make sense that he chose that.
Yeah. Yeah,
and Canister was doing quite well with this Elemental decks, but I think the big shift for Elementals, there was like a week where it was by far the best deck. It was crushing everything. And then Tron got introduced. Then Azorius Control. Then Grixis Death Shadow with Dress Down. And all of a sudden that deck is a lot less exciting.
Agreed. But I will play a Temple Garden and Soldier On.
Okay, I will go to 18.
It's 18 to 19.
All right.
Nice slow start here.
Oh, yes. It's going to be a lot of that today. So for you Control mages out there, this is going to be your kind of day. For the people who hate watching Control, well, maybe we'll draw you in.
Yeah, when I fall asleep, just, throw a pen at me.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good.
I will definitely do that.
It's been called. I mean, now we have to.
That's at the ready. I got it right here.
All right.
So actually, I want the point out.
I am going to play the Scalding Tartan. I'll
No
pass to
mercy.
you.
What did I do to you, Ross?
Yeah. So I see being roommates is going well with you guys. Too good.
Look, Ross is just watching all these cooking shows. It's making me hungry.
Yeah. What a jerk.
Okay. I will continue to think about my hand.
Okay, good call. Good call. Thanks for the narration. When you narrate next time, will you do it in the voice of Morgan Freeman, please?
I cannot mimic Morgan Freeman.
Okay. It's very soothing though. It would calm me down for the rest of my games.
Yeah, I guess I'll just jam into your counter spell.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to probably 16 here.
Okay.
No real reason not to. Which land do I want? I've got a forest in case I draw a sprawl. Maybe I want a second forest so I can sprawl something else.
Okay.
That seems unnecessary though. There's so little green. And I guess mostly white and blue in this matchup, at least the cards that are relevant. So let's just get Hallowed Fountain.
I would make sure to get 4 lands that play Omnath. That seems like a good one.
Well, I'm on pace there because I've got the red source with the Triumph.
So there you go. You're set.
Maybe I need a second red source at some point to hardcast Furies.
Are you gonna purchase Kahiri for the low price of 3?
No, I
and
will
then discard
cast a Teferi.
I probably shouldn't let that one resolve.
It's your choice.
I'm gonna cast just Counterspell.
You live your life.
Yeah. All right. I lived it. Done.
You're up.
All right. I'll go to 17. Been playing a lot of the Grixis Death Shadow list, and man, when you just put these lands into play tap, you don't take as much damage. Who would have guessed? All right, so 17
Maybe
to
you're
16.
screwing up. You got to get yourself below 13.
Yeah, that's right. There's got to be a swamp in here for some Death Shadow, right? Okay, I'll play a land and I'll pass to you.
Yeah. I will play Cavern of Souls on Elemental.
Okay.
I will evoke a Muldrifter.
Evoke a Muldrifter in this economy? In response
To the spell or the trigger?
to the spell, I'm going to draw 2 cards.
That resolves.
Okay, that resolves.
Okay, I'll put the sacrifice trigger from evoke on the stack, then the draw 2, resolve the draw 2.
Yep.
And then I would like to ephemerate this Muldrifter.
Yeah, not a fan of that, but it resolves.
Ooh, I am a fan of that. Gonna have to discard the hand size, but I think that's fine. Because I now have 8 cards in my hand.
Jesus.
And I will discard a Solitude against your deck with very few creatures.
That's a good call. All right, I'm in some trouble with that ephemerate coming back as well. Yeah, this is not a very good exchange, but I think it's worth it to stop you from drawing 2 extra cards. So, verdict that, and I'll pass to you.
Yep. So now, does this ephemerate say exiled or go to the graveyard?
I think it just remains exiled.
Yeah, exiled my target. Okay, that's fine. I'm still going to have a cool turn here
I don't like cool turns.
because I can start it with an Omnath
Okay.
and draw a card.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh. Stuff.
Stuff and things.
Yeah, that's scary.
So now I can play a Misty, gain 4, go to 20.
Okay. I have a feeling this is just going to be a bad day for me.
Go to 19.
Yeah.
I don't think I need any. I don't think I need this land tapped. Yeah, I'll just need it untapped. I mean,
Okay.
So I'll just fetch that tapped and make red, green, white, blue.
Okay. What you got cooking now?
I have a Risen Reef with a white floating.
Okay.
Trigger the Reef.
Yep.
Put Sacred Foundry onto the battlefield tap. Deal you 4.
Okay.
Go to 13.
Yep.
And then with my white floating, I will ephemerate the Omnath.
Oh, you should have did that before with Risen Reef on the stack.
So I could gain life instead of deal you damage.
Then you gain life, and then you get a Risen Reef trigger. So if you hit, you get another 4 mana.
Yeah, if I hit twice, I get 4 more mana.
You only have to hit once because you played a land. You wouldn't have to. Or wait, you hit that off that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but with that trigger on the stack, you blink Omnath, so that would trigger once, and then if you hit another one, then you
so
have
if
mana.
I hit land, then I get an additional 4 mana.
You'd only need 1 land, but yeah.
I need to trigger the Omnath twice to get mana.
But you would trigger it once with this.
Yes.
If you play this on the stack,
But
so
I
now
didn't know
you
that
just
was
have to.
I didn't know that was hitting a land. So you have,
I agree,
you have
but
to do it before you look, and then you get 2 Risen Reef triggers, and if they're both lands, then you get 4 mana.
Agreed, yeah.
Yeah.
But you play to your outs, you know? But yeah, okay. That's fine.
So I'll do that. Let's draw the card first with the Omnath,
okay.
and then trigger the Risen Reef.
Yep.
And that'll go to my hand.
Okay.
And then I will pass the turn with 7 cards.
7 cards. Okay, cool. That's all fine. Well, I once again have no choice, so verdict again.
That's the verdict again.
I'll pass to you. You only have 1 million cards.
Yeah, only 1 million.
This looks much more fun on your side right now, I must say.
How about I lead on a fairy?
Resolves.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah, good times over here. Good times. I'll set my hand down. You do your thing.
Man, what do I do now?
You just didn't expect that. Yeah.
No, I did not expect that at all. Maybe I should have done this. Thought there might be some sort of interaction you could have, even though I'd cavern. That was probably a mistake.
Yeah.
But that's fine.
Excellent. Excellent.
Let's crack this. I'm probably going to end up at 16.
Okay.
Cracking this Heath. Actually, I've got some basics, and I don't need other stuff. I'll just get a forest. So
Okay.
I'm at 18.
Okay.
And I'll play another Omnath.
Another jellyfish. Or gusher hands, I should say. Yep, you got it.
And there's really nothing I'm bouncing on your side of the battlefield, so I think I'll just get my card.
Okay.
I guess you do have Celestial Colonnade, but if you spend your entire turn colonnading my Teferi, I think I'm okay with that. So I draw a card off Omnath, then I'll draw a card off the Teferi.
Okay.
And then I will pass the turn with 7 cards in my hand.
Stop having 7 cards in your hand. I'm sick of it.
I don't know what's in Corey's hand, but it can't be very good.
Good call. Good call. Let's see. Yeah, so I have the play of just Colonnade, leaving up 2 mana, and not having anything too exciting to do with it. But at least it destroys it. But then I just leave Omnath. Not that I have a great way to deal with that anyways. Yeah, I'm just going to draw 2 cards. Divination. This is all fine.
Divination is what Jim was doing against me, but that was in a standard match from 7 years ago.
Yeah.
You're doing it in Modern in 2021.
I sure am, and it's not working out great. I'll pass
it didn't even work then.
Yeah, when he told me he played 4 Divination in this deck, I was like, what? That sounds awful.
It just sounds like Jim Davis.
Yeah, it does sound like a nice Jim Davis.
Okay, we'll start with blessing the Teferi. That's the easy part of the turn.
Okay.
The other easy part of the turn is playing and cracking this Misty, gaining 4, but I'm going to take... no, I can just get an island.
So you're going to gain 3, go to 21?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me get 21. I'll have 1 million mana.
Yep. I'll just sit here and get destroyed.
Then I am going to use the green mana to Utopia Sprawl my basic forest.
Sure.
So I still have red, white, balloon pool.
I have 6.
Then I will play Flamekin Harbinger, white, blue, floating.
Okay.
Find a Risen Reef.
Okay. This is all fine.
Use the white, blue I have floating to hardcast a Muldrifter. So now I have no mana in pool.
Okay.
Then I will play a Risen Reef, trigger it.
Sure.
Go to my hand.
Okay.
Then I will play a Flamekin Harbinger.
Okay. Yep. This is nice.
So
You get to stack it in a way that you can just put a card into your hand.
yeah, or I can. So I'm worried just about the third Supreme Verdict, right? That's the biggest issue here. I'm wondering if I don't even want to play this. I just want to buy the Kahira and attack you. But it's not very good post verdict. Like, it's okay. It'll do something.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah, I think I just don't want to extend any more material. I think just buying the Kahira instead is better.
Okay.
And then attacking for 4.
I'm down to 9.
So we got 9 to 21. And I have 7 cards in hand. Pass.
All right. 2/2 Shark. I can do something. And it's bad since you played Moldrifter, but whatever. All right. Untap. Draw. Okay. Interesting. Okay, this is actually not awful. Let's go with... Not awful if I can just live. I think I can. Okay, so let's go.
Fetch brings you to 8.
Yep. Then... let's attack to Fairy. Or wait, excuse me. I need to first... Solitude.
Resolves.
Hit Moldrifter. Or wait, sorry. I need to first... I need to first Prismatic Ending the Risen Reef.
I will respond by evoking a Solitude, pitching Prismatic Ending.
Okay, yep, that's why I had to do this first.
So I'm going to target the shark with the Solitude trigger,
Yep.
and then trigger Risen Reef.
Okay.
Put this into my hand.
Okay, so I go to 10.
Yes, you go to 10.
Then Risen Reef
Risen
down.
Reef gets exiled.
And now I will Solitude Omnath. And you gain 4, go to 25, and then I'll pass to you. Staying alive.
Careful, we don't want to get in trouble with Twitch.
Yeah, DMC striked immediately.
Okay, plus to Fairy is the
Okay.
easy part of this turn.
Yep.
Then I can Solitude your Solitude.
Rude.
You gain 3.
Okay.
Go to 13.
Okay.
Then I can play Kahira.
Okay.
Attack you for 5.
Okay.
Brings you to 8.
Yep. I think they might get Vigilance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is pretty big against Colonnade. So I'm at 8.
And then I will play Cavern on... No, that doesn't seem right. I guess I'll just play this tapped.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
All right. Need a good draw. Was not that good of a draw. Okay, so since you got a Cavern there and you got a backup one for funsies, the Spreading Seas on Cavern is not that good, so let's Spreading Seas that.
Topiary Sprawl then falls off.
Yep. And then let's go with a Prismatic Ending on Teferi. And a pass to you.
So how are we staying alive here? I guess I can find out by leading with Teferi.
Yeah, in response. I'm gonna crack this. I'm gonna have to tap your team. If you got anything to do about that, you win, but
That's gonna bring you to 7.
yep. And do I want to counter as well? Like Teferi is good, but I think I just need to draw a card, so I'm gonna tap draw.
Okay. I will bounce my Muldrifter.
Sounds cool.
Then I will hardcast this Muldrifter.
Okay.
Draw 2. Then I will play this Breeding Pool tapped and pass the turn.
All right, I think it might be time where I have to scry it upkeep. None of the other
verdict.
Yeah, none of the other plays keep me alive in my hand, so we're gonna do a little gambling. Scry 2.
Yep.
Bottom 2. That won't do it, but maybe I can find something that keeps me alive. I have a Teferi.
Okay.
Let's bounce.
I guess if you
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's still lethal unless I find something.
Well, this is a cat beast. So if you bounce this and find a counter spell, you can live.
No, you have a Teferi.
Oh yeah, I have Teferi.
So I think I have to bounce Solitude and hope to find like a path or something. Yeah, bounce Solitude, hope to find like a path. I did not. I lose.
Okay.
All right.
I still had 7 cards in my hand.
Yeah, I know, Roz. That's all you said the whole game is I have 7 cards in my hand constantly.
It was always true.
It was always true. Yeah, it was only not true like the first turn of the game for
It
you.
was only not true when I had different triggers on the stack.
Yeah. Oh my God. That was a thorough beating. That was a thorough beating.
That was impressive. And you drew 2 of your verdicts, which is...
I had to use one very aggressively, and maybe it was too aggressive with how the game's played out, just it being the most important card. Maybe that was just my screw-up already. Shocking, you know, not playing the tough-to-play control deck perfectly, but yeah.
Waffle Top is probably in the chat, under a pseudonym, just shaking his head.
Just shaking his head. He's like, this amateur. This absolute amateur. So we are going to take a short break, y'all, and then we're going to be right back here with sideboarding here between 4-color elementals and Azorius Control. Don't go anywhere. All right, everybody, welcome back to sideboarding here between Azorius Control and 4-color elementals. From my end, I'm taking out chalices. I don't think they're great. You have a very wide converted mana cost, as well as you can just prismatic ending it. I guess you're taking out, but and you have Cavern. So you know what? A recipe for failure there. I'm going to trim one of the Shark Typhoons, and then I'm going to bring in Tempted by Auric, which I guess just takes Teferi. That seems pretty nice if I can actually resolve that. And then 2 Summary Dismissals to counter stuff through Cavern, which is nice. So.
Yeah, on my side, we've got the obvious Force Negations coming in, another Muldrifter, and I'm going to try bringing in the Subtlety. Good against your Teferis, and really just gives me an extra blue card for force. It's also a flash threat, which is nice at trying to play around your counter spells. So I don't think this card is great by any means, but it does a lot of little things that are helpful in the matchup.
Yeah.
I'm going to be cutting a lot of my removal. I'm leaving in 1 Solitude as a tutor target with Harbinger.
Okay.
It's one of the cards that can cleanly answer a big Shark token or a Celestial Colonnade.
Yep.
So I like having 1. Endurance, obviously, just not for this matchup. And then turning on Prismatic Ending over Fury. Prismatic Ending does have the ability to hit Shark tokens, and
Teferi.
But so does Fury. Fury hits Planeswalkers, and it's just a threat. And I think I just want to be threat dense.
Fury only deals 4 though, right? So if I just perpetually tick up, you can never kill it.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully I have something.
Yeah, I hope you don't.
So I think I would just rather be threat dense. I still have 1 Prismatic Ending in the deck. You might see me change that for game of 3 if it comes back to bite me. But
yeah, and instead of tutor something up, we got to make sure we say we seek it up and like use words like perpetual, just to give Rob a hint that we're going to try to make this historic thing work next week. And Rob loves the idea.
Yeah, it was actually his idea.
It was his idea. He's hyped. You know, it seems like those kind of cards work perfectly for online space and in real life. So we're going to try to get that going. Right, Rob?
What do you call when you give your 2 weeks notice immediately?
Walking up.
You can't fire me. I quit.
Yes. I believe it's called quitting.
I believe it's called quitting. All right. I will be going first.
I have a song for that, Rob. It's called I Quit My Job.
How does it go?
The only songs I know are songs off Rumors by Fleetwood Mac right now, because that's all I've been listening to.
Nice.
Strong album.
Great album.
Fleetwood Mac's nice. On the play, I think I'm going to keep this. I'm sure Corey keeps translates to control decks just as much as anything else, so this seems like a decent
easy
one.
game.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
we need a little bit amount of help, but
This is worse than my hand last game.
okay.
The last game I won very easily, so.
Yeah, that's true. So you got a lot of wiggle room.
Yeah, 5 lands to Fairy Fury does not seem like the ticket.
Yeah, that's not great. That's not
If
great.
the Fury was something else good, like Risen Reef or Omnath, I think I would have kept.
Okay.
I think if I had 2 really good spells in 5 lands, I would keep.
Yeah.
Harbinger 2 to find any of those things. Something like that. I might have even kept if it was a Sprawl too, even though that's 6 lands, just because I get to turn 2 the Teferi.
Yeah.
But then I'd probably have to be on the play, so you can't counter it.
Yeah. Or I could have Prismatic Ending for the Sprawl as well.
So I did have a question earlier
What do we got?
in the chat. So for the Azorius Control deck, you're currently playing 3 Supreme Verdicts. Do you think that there should be any thought given to potential meddling mages and things like that, where you should kind of split up your wraths, or do you think you should just always be playing Supreme Verdict right now?
Always Supreme Verdict. When Humans was a really big thing, there were considerations to that, but Humans is a very fringe deck right now, and that's the only meddling mage deck that I can think of. There might be some other, kind of even more fringe deck, but with it being that distant, just play the best card. If I draw Shatter the Sky and you just happen to have, a Force Negation or something, I look real silly. So yeah, just play the good card for in this kind of metagame. But good question.
I will be easily keeping the sand and an obvious card to put to the bottom.
Bang, pass to you.
Bang has been called. So I am going to crack this for a stomping ground going to 17 and then Utopia Sprawl.
Okay.
And I'm going to name white.
Okie dokie.
You're up.
All right, I have a land and I'll pass to you.
Ooh, no white mana.
No white mana. I'm saving it. I'm saving it for later.
Saving the flavor for later.
Yep.
That's what my beard is for.
Wow, okay. You can just say you're a Slav eater.
Enjoy that Waffle House all day long.
All day, yeah.
Cavern of Souls and Elemental. Play Risen Reef.
Yeah, resolves.
Drigger wins my piece. You're up.
Well, not great. Not great. I will exile this and solitude that.
I will gain a life.
And I'll pass
I'm
to
at
you.
18.
I kept a 2-lander, in case you didn't notice now, and I did not get there. I did not get there indeed.
Well, the good news for you is my hand is also not very good.
Hooray!
I will play another Cavern on Elementals.
Okay.
I will cycle a Rogran Triumph.
Okay, I like that.
I will crack Windswept Teeth, go to 17.
Okay.
This should probably just get Hallowed Fountain since I already have Stomping Ground on the battlefield.
Okay.
And then I will tap Cavern for red and play a Harbinger.
Okay, that resolves.
Now, do I want to get Risen Reef or do I want to get Omnath here?
Decisions.
They both generate at least one bit of card advantage. I'll just get a Risen Reef.
Okay.
And I'll pass the turn.
Come on. No. Pass the
I guess I
turn.
could have also gotten a Muldrifter. Maybe Muldrifter was the ticket.
Yeah. Any of those options were going to destroy me.
Yeah. Okay. I'll draw this Risen Reef.
Okay.
I will...
My hand was like solid if I didn't hit a third land, if you didn't also have Cavern. Or if I just hit a third land, it would have been okay as well, but this combination is not good.
Yeah. I will cast Risen Reef.
Okay.
Put that into my hand.
Okay.
Play Misty Rainforest and attack for 1.
Okay, I'm at 19.
I will pass the turn.
I'll draw. Pass the turn.
On your end step, I will Ephemerate the Harbinger.
counter it. Gotta use my counter spells on something.
Crack this fetch, go to 16.
Okay.
Got the forest. I will buy Kahira,
Okay.
play it,
Okay.
and attack you for 4.
All right. I'm at
15.
15.
Pass the turn.
Go.
Cards in hand.
7.
I guess the Solitude really helps.
Yeah. Solid equity there.
Windswept Teeth, attack for 7.
Block.
I will play a Subtlety and target the Snapcaster Mage, and also trigger Risen Reef.
Okay.
It goes on top or bottom of your deck.
Okay. I will choose bottom.
I'll put this into my hand with the Risen Reef. You still take 7.
Yep. Down to 8.
8, and then I will pass the turn.
All right. I don't think I can do anything here. Top deck the verdict. All right, I still just don't have a land. I kept a 2-lander with charm and counterspell, you know, but what was this, turn 7? That did not work well. Well, things are going well for the control side so far.
Yeah, really impressive stuff.
Really
I can see how
impressive.
Wafatapa is a genius.
I think so, yeah. I bet he drew more land 3s or just didn't keep those kind of
I was
hands.
gonna say, I bet someone learned how to mulligan.
Yeah, that could be.
It's going to be the Happy Gilmore scene when Corey finally figures out. It's like, Corey learned how to mulligan. Uh-oh.
I'm just mulliganing all the time now. Mulligan to 4 to start every game. Yeah, this is great. My 4 cards are so good.
Yeah, I was gonna say this man could have been Palo, but you know, it just doesn't mulligans.
Yeah. That's true.
Said he has to settle for being on the premier competitive Magic show in the entire universe.
Exactly. So you know what? Who's the real winner here? Still Paulo. All right, Rob. Do you got any questions for us before we play our third game?
Yeah, so as far as like combo decks people could play right now, what do you think about Storm? Do you feel like it's playable?
I really don't.
Yeah.
No. There's a lot of lanterns and stuff too.
Yeah, the issue with Storm has always been that, you know, so I should preface this by saying the benefit of playing spell-based combo decks is typically that you limit your opponent's axes of interaction.
Yeah.
And you get to ignore wide swaths of their deck. But because the Storm deck also uses the graveyard pretty heavily, and it depends on having a creature on the battlefield most of the time, you can basically interact with it in every possible way.
Yeah.
So it's a very different Storm deck than you're usually used to. It's a very resilient deck, and that's actually the impressive part about it. But the fact that the rest of the format has gotten so much more efficient means that necessarily the Storm is less resilient.
Yeah.
Because you're going to have less time. They're going to interact with you more effectively in the early game and more often, and they're going to put you under more pressure. And so it's a deck that is going to need a little bit of help. It's going to need an upgrade here or there. Going to need an extra card or two.
And just think of like how many Fluster Storms are around too. That's not a card Storm wants to see. Like. Yeah. All right, ritual, Past in Flames with 4 mana floating. 1 mana, wreck your world. I'm like, oh, all right. I quit. Or forcing Past in Flames. Like, Force did not do any favors for that deck either, that's for sure.
There's been a lot of improvements to the mid-range decks that you used to feast on.
Yeah.
You used to be more worried about beating like humans and things like that had permanent base disruption and pressure, but now even the mid-range decks with just discarding counter spells are problematic. So yeah, not a fan of Storm.
Not a fan of Storm either. Not a fan of that hand either. One lander.
If you want a combo, I would look at Indomitable Creativity, which is really sort of a control combo deck, but I think that's the way you want to be anyway.
That one's fun. Yeah, that's a fun one for sure. Okay. I've still yet to try it, but I've watched people play it and it looks awesome.
Oh, Jesus.
Your hands keep getting worse, but you keep winning.
Well, your hands are like, as long as your hands don't get better, then it's not going to be difficult. I am going to keep this hand though. It's not very good.
I'm going to keep. This is my best hand yet. But what do I want to do? I'm going to be on the play. I think I actually just want to get rid of this expensive clunker. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to pass to you. You're going down this game, Ross.
Okay. I will play Misty and pass.
I will sack this. Get a Triome.
I guess I need to wait in case you have Spreading Seas.
Yeah, you don't want that Misty Rainforest getting spread and seized. It's not the best play on my part, but all right.
If you can sneak it in, it's not bad.
That's true. That's true. If they forget about it. All right, we're gonna go like that. We're gonna go like this, and I'll pass to you.
I will also get my Roggerine Triome.
The Triome.
And by that
okay.
I mean, of course, Cavern Soul's an elemental.
Yes, of course, of course. You cheater. We know you're gonna draw it, or you already have 2 in your hand.
I know it's not as good as fetching for Ghost Quarter, but
Yeah. Wow. Hey, you leave my family alone.
and there's your clip of the day, Rob.
Yeah, there we go. Take at Shirani and at FF Freak.
I'll play Winds of Teeth and pass.
Okay, I will crack this.
You're at 18, I'm at 19.
Man, I'm gonna destroy you this game, Ross.
Are you?
Oh god, it's not gonna be close. You don't have Cavern, you know, like.
I mean, I don't have it yet.
Yeah, you're just not gonna have it, and it's gonna be a beating. This game's gonna be one for the ages. I can feel it. I'll pass to you.
Instead of Crack the Heave,
Okay.
this one will get a Breeding Pool,
Okay. Okay.
if I can find it.
I hope you can't.
Maybe it's not in my deck, I don't even know.
I would think there should be one. There you go.
You know, there's 6 shock lands that you could play in a 4-color deck, right? Because there's 4 of them that have the 5th color. So, and there's 10 total.
Yeah.
So there's probably just one of each of the 6.
I would think so, yeah.
You know, a bunch of basics.
Maybe 2 basics, so you can choose for pass and stuff. Yeah, mana base kind of builds itself at that point.
It's not that hard. I'll play Mystery Forest and pass.
I will draw 2 cards.
2 of them.
2.
Jesus, that's so much better than Divination when you can do it at instant speed.
I know. Is it resolved?
Yeah.
All right. Fool. Okay, I'll untap. I'll draw. I'll play this beautiful Misty Gate, and I'll pass to you.
Crack a Misty on your instep.
Okay.
I'm at 17.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, this one can get a Hallowed Fountain. That's fine.
Okay. Okay. I got some good cards now, and I have lands to play them. You're truly in trouble.
So I'm at 17. You're at 18.
Okay.
And this hardly seems fair. All the other games were so much easier. Can we go back to that?
No. Didn't enjoy that second game very much.
Okay. I'll play Winds of Teeth and pass.
Fact or fiction?
This one I probably have to counter.
Yeah, that's a good one. It's gone.
But now I feel very naked. Naked and afraid.
Naked and afraid. I do not have the Teferi to punish you. So, sad panda. And do we want to do anything else here? I don't think so, so I'll pass to you.
Crack Heath on your end step. I'm at 16.
Okay.
This one I think will get Stomping Ground. That rounds up my mana pretty well.
All right.
I've got 2 white, 2 green, 2 red, and 3 blue.
But you got nothing here. That's what matters.
Is it?
Yep.
I thought it was the heart that matters.
Yeah, it's the heart of the cards. What you got, Ross? What you got?
I have Flooded Strand
Okay.
and Baikahira.
Ooh, impressive.
You're up.
How many cards you got?
7.
All right. Who would have guessed? All right, I got a castle. I got some action. I'll pass to you.
Instead of Crack Strand, I go to 15.
Okay.
Cards in hand.
7. 7.
Sure, let's get a Temple Garden.
Okay. You gonna start playing something?
Yep.
All right, excellent. Excellent.
Oh. Well, I am going to start playing something because I drew a cavern.
Were you saying you were lying to me before?
Let's play Risen Reef.
Dismissal.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Thank you, thank you.
Then I will. You probably do have a counter spell, but I'm not going to be able to get around that, so I'll just play Teferi.
I have a counter spell.
Pass the turn.
Okay. I have this nice spreading seas I've been saving for such an occasion over there. And I'll pass to you.
You have 4 in hand now?
3. I got to try this 7 trick that you've been doing. It seems better.
Yeah. Let me tell you, it is. Well, I will play another Teferi.
I would like to counter and draw.
And then I will play Kahira.
That one resolves.
That's
You got
right.
one by me. All right. Now I have a colonnade, and I'll pass to you.
That's not fair.
Yep. The beats. We got a race.
Attack for 3.
I will go to 15.
So you have 15 all.
Yep.
You have 3 in hand.
3 in hand. All busted.
Play Misty.
Okay.
Jam a Fury.
Fury. I'll counter spell.
Crack 2 fetches. I'm going to go to 13.
Okay.
Let's get Island and Plains, or maybe Island and Forest.
Okay.
They're basically the same. Yeah, sure. And play Teferi.
I will counter and draw. I was trying to scry, but you left me with no choice.
Pass the turn.
Okay, now do I want to scry on upkeep? Not really. But kind of. I guess I could try to get in there. Try to get aggro on you. You got 1 card. I'm winning the race. Doesn't seem ideal. So instead I'll just draw. I'll play another castle. And I will take this. And I'll pass to you.
Pass the turn.
I'll scry 2. I'll keep this one. Untap. A draw. I will animate, play a land, and attack.
I will go to 8 or 6. I mean,
Pass to you.
and that's another fetch land. So
All right.
Force negation came a little bit too late.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, there was a game I just had counter spells, and I was able to cast them and shut down your cavern and do the thing.
Yeah, you just had the right mix of stuff. I was very slow out of the gates with a pretty land heavy hand again.
Yep.
And never ran you out of stuff.
Yeah.
And really needed to draw like an Omnath in there, or a Force negation would have been good.
Yeah.
I was sort of like 1 or 2 cards off from really doing something and breaking through.
Yeah.
Because once I break one thing through, it kind of snowballs. I just never
For
got to the
sure.
point.
Yeah, that's just elementals in a nutshell too. Like it's a deck that just absolutely snowballs out of control with just a couple of elementals. So
Okay.
yeah.
So that is going to be a match 1. I think we want to try to not stretch things to 5 with the control deck playing. Leave
Good
ourselves
call.
a little bit of leeway with
Good
how
call.
some of these games can go. But
Yeah.
an impressive showing from Elementals here in match
Yep.
1. I thought Supreme Verdict was going to do a better job of just clearing the battlefield and stopping the snowball, but you generate so
Yeah.
much card advantage once Risen Reef and Omnath and Muldrifter get going that it can get really tough. So
Yeah.
now it's going to be a bit of an uphill battle for the control deck because your next matchup is Mono Green Tron. That said, I do think the Tron used to crush control.
Yeah.
And I think the matchup has gotten much closer.
Agreed.
In recent years. The control deck just has a lot more tools. You don't have any Field of Ruins.
I don't, but Spreading Seas is the Field of Ruins, and even like the thing that used to crush control was like Ulamog all the time. Like that was just the ability was going to resolve even if you counter it, and losing your Teferi and stuff. But now Summary Dismissal brought it in here. It's going to be good there too. So
yeah, that is very true. So we'll see if Tron can keep his historic legacy of crushing control decks intact, and I can lock up the marbles a little bit early today. That would be nice.
I'd hate that. I did just lose to Tron last week from Jim, but you can't count to 7 as well as Jim can. So
Is that the first time Tron has ever won?
No, I think it doesn't have a great record. It's not a positive record on Versus, but I don't think it got shut out like Azorius Control usually has. So we're going to take that short 5-minute break, y'all, and be right back with round number 2 here on Versus Live. Don't go anywhere. All right, everybody, welcome back to Versus Live. My name is Corey Baumeister.
I'm Ross Merriam.
And we got Rob in the booth. Say what's up, Rob.
What's up, Rob?
Rob will be taking all your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games. He will get his favorite one sent over to us. So today we were playing a little gauntlet here with this Azorius Control deck. We had a close one. We had one non-game and then 2 close games, the other ones, but Ross takes down the first one with Elementals. And now we're going to put it up against a matchup I'm pretty afraid of. It's Tron, Mono Green Tron, which
I believe the name of the deck is Mono Green Mulligan Control.
Mono Green Mulligan Control, exactly. That is what you're going to be doing a lot, I imagine. But Tron has been doing quite well lately, and it's kind of in a response to Elementals, all these fair decks that are coming up to beat all these Ragavan decks because they're just so good that, that Tron comes in and keeps everybody in check when the metagame gets a little too fair. Then you're like, okay, we got to speed up our decks again to make sure you have a good match against Tron or have a bunch of sideboard cards. But the deck's beatable if we want to beat it, and we'll see if Guillaume has the tools to beat it within this deck. I'm interested to see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's odd because normally you think big mana decks horrible against control. Historically, that is true.
Yeah.
But Tron just has this inevitability with these incredibly powerful Eldrazi that end up getting through counter spells. So that's going to be a big deal for you. Trying to find a turn where you can establish a big Teferi and start generating card advantage. Otherwise, most big mana decks are just all mana. In this case, because it's all cards that search for lands, there's some utility lands at the end that prevent you from flooding, and there's just not a very high land count. Mm-hmm. So all the cantrips end up finding you more gas. So the Tron deck operates a little bit differently than most big mana decks historically, and that really flips the script in the control matchup. And so it's really going to be on you to try to establish that full sort of counter wall with some card advantage and try to almost be the beatdown. But you're not really trying to end the game and reduce my life to 0. Though with Sharks you can do that. Yeah. You're really just trying to have this gigantic wall of things so that even my big over-the-top Eldrazi aren't enough to pull me back into the game.
Yeah, exactly. My combo and my aggression is going to be ticking Teferi up from 5 to 6 and saying go. So that's going to be the plan. Let's try to get it going. I'll be going first.
Yeah, you get to be on the play.
How lucky. I have lands and spells.
How likely is it that your 7-card hand with Tron starts with these 2 and is still a mulligan?
Yeah, that's pretty unlikely. Pretty unlikely. Yeah, that's not great. But believe it or not, you're going to be doing a lot of mulliganing, I imagine. Yeah. So
got my hand very aggressively with Tron.
My hand isn't amazing, but I think it's good enough to keep here.
Good enough to keep.
If I was on the draw, I think I would have to ship this. But on the play, I think it's keepable.
I like that. Sounds like a good old Corey keep.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be playing lands, though, this game. I'll just never be stopping. No.
The question is, so when you say you're playing lands, that means you can play 2.
Yes.
But the real question is whether you get the 3rd.
That's true. Only me and the amount of people in chat. No, not you. 5. Yeah, Jim playing Tron versus you playing Tron is going to be hilarious.
Another Tron land map, no other land hand.
Nice. 2 for 2
so far.
I love it.
Going 5.
Tron does. I'm just gonna put this out there, Ross. Have you tried drawing better?
Yeah, exactly. Tron is a deck that you need to be aggressively mulliganing. The people that keep these close hands with Tron are almost always wrong. With the London mulligan, Tron can mulligan extremely well. So
yeah. You should not be at all afraid to go to 5 or even 4.
Even 4, yep. Even 2. Head to 2, just shortcut it.
As much as you would like that.
I would. That would make my day.
Instead.
That would make my day.
Do you hear about the new accordion mulligan rule? You go to 5 and then you start going back up.
Oh.
You just oscillate between 5 and 7.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'd always mulligan back to 7 then. That seems like a good
so
play.
I guess I'll just I could keep 5 here.
You want to mulligan to 6,
or
huh?
I can just go back up to 6.
Smart.
This 5 is also just not close. Like I'm this one's actually the worst hand so far.
Yes.
It's just a bunch of chromatic stars and no green cards to find my other Tron lands.
Yeah.
So
I think I probably would have kept that one, but
on 5. What?
yeah, you got 1 Tron land, you're on the draw, you got stars that I mean, when you're going to 4, I wouldn't keep that on 7, but I'd keep that on 5.
I was gonna say, Corey out here just trying to talk about the virtues of mulliganing with Tron, and then like, I wouldn't mulligan with Tron. What are you-
Yeah, are you kidding? He's up 5 magic cards. There's a point when you keep a bit of losers.
Do you realize that assembling Tron gives you +4 cards? Your 3 lands make 7 mana.
That's true. Whatever. You're going to get just the most unplayable 4 here, and you're going to just be crying to get that 5-card hand back. There's going to be tears. It's going to be glorious.
I think the best hand I've seen so far was my 7.
Yeah. All right, we're down to 4.
Yeah, this one's definitely a keep.
Okay. Don't like that.
And I think it's just got to be these 4, so...
Strand, and I'll pass to you. I'll sack it while you do your thing.
I will play Tower Sphere.
Okay. I will find this Triome. We'll see what we can find. God, you got so many cards. 7 again, or?
Yeah.
All right, I will draw a card. I will play this land, and I'll pass to you.
Crack the Sphere for green.
Okay.
Draw a card. I will use that green to cast Ancient Starrings.
Okay.
Wow.
Good ones?
I will find a Walking Ballista.
That can't be what you wanted.
Nope. But I do have a Forest and another Ancient Starring.
Not bad. Okay. At least I know you're not Troning up next turn.
That's 12 cards without seeing another Tron land.
Ross playing Tron has to be just the most foolish thing for just your skill set and your luck level. This is going to be a fun match, actually, Rob.
Expedition map. And pass the turn.
End step, I'll make a 0/0 shark.
Given how unlucky Ross normally gets with Tron, yeah, I was prepared for this.
Yeah, me too, and it's just going to be glorious. So now I'm going to take 2. I'm going to play it to Fairy. I'm going to tick up, and I'm going to pass to you. All right, I'm at 17. You are at 20.
You know, at some point you begin to wonder if maybe Ross just shuffles poorly.
I think so. He shuffles too much, which then leads him into the abyss of...
Okay, I'm going to take this turn to try to resolve the Sylvan Scrying.
Okay.
That will find a non-tower Tron land.
Good call.
Let's go with Power Plant.
Okay.
And then I will play a map.
Okay.
Then I'll pass the turn.
All right. That was a pretty solid draw. Let's go with a land. I'm going to bounce that to your hand.
Yep.
And I'll pass to you.
Play map.
I'll counter it.
Play map.
Okay.
Play Forest.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
It's on. I'll draw. I will tick up. I will cast this beautiful, beautiful card called Spreading Seas on Urza's Tower. A draw. And I'll pass to you.
Now, I don't want to crack the map because I could draw either tower or mine.
Yep.
Can also draw that.
Is that a good one for you?
Do I want to play this Ballista? Is now the question.
2/2 doesn't line up great with Teferi, but can at least attack it down and pressure it.
Yep. I don't really want to I don't want to tap below 2 and leave the map exposed to an Archmage's Charm or bounce and counter on the way back down. But I do think I want to start doing something. So I will play Ballista on 1.
Okay.
And then I will pass the turn.
All right. End step, I'm going to crack this.
You go to 16.
Play land. And since you're still pretty far away from Tron, I'm going to flex on you by drawing 2 cards. That was a good draw. I'll draw. I'll play a land. I'll tick up. I'll play a Teferi. I'll tick this one up. I'll draw a card. I'll untap this. I'll untap this. And I'll pass to you. Dun dun. This is what we call doing it.
Okay, draw.
Okay.
All the most tilting draws.
Welcome to Tron. Welcome to Tron.
Attack Big Teferi.
No blocks.
No effects.
All prismatic ending it.
Deal 1 to Big Teferi.
Okay.
You have 5 in hand.
5 in hand. All gassers.
Pass the turn.
Okay. All on top. I'll draw. I'll take this up. I'll take this up. I'll play this castle. And I will play Fact or Fiction.
Sure.
Here's some cards for you to choose on.
So I would say the 2 cards that I'm worried about here are the Counterspell and the Colonnade. The Colonnade applies some pressure. You already have the castle there that can apply some pressure to.
So much pressure.
You probably
and
have.
The pressure's right here.
Yeah. So let's split these 2.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go lands versus spells.
Okay. I have enough lands, and I'd have to discard if I take the 3, so I'll just take this.
Prismatic ending is not particularly good. So.
Yeah, exactly. Then I'll untap, and I'll pass to you.
Draw. That's the turn.
Pass the turn, huh? Okay. End step. I will bounce draw. And yeah, I'll untap. A draw. I will draw. I will. Yeah, we'll just tick this up. And 3, 4. I'll make a 1/1.
Yep.
And then I'll untap this and I'll pass to you. Oh, I have to discard.
I will play a power plant and pass.
Okay. End step, I'll make a 1/1. Untap. Draw. I'll tick this up and draw. I'll tick this down on the map.
I will sack it in response.
Okay.
I will get Urza's Tower.
Okay.
Have fewer of those in my deck, so I want a tutor for that one.
Now I will. We don't need to do that yet. Let's go with make a castle token, attack for 2.
I'm at 18.
Then I will untap and discard a Supreme Verdict. And I'll pass to you.
Play tower.
Okay.
I will play Karn, the Great Creator.
The Great Creator, eh? I will counter target spell.
Okay, pass the turn.
Okay. I'll untap. I'll draw. I'll bounce Spreading Seas to my hand. Draw a card. I'll Spreading Seas the Power Plant. Draw a card. Then I will go with a new Teferi. Tick up. I'll take this up. Draw a card. Ooh, that's a good one too. And I'll attack for 3.
I'm at 15.
I think I probably played a land already.
I don't know. I'm dead.
Okay, yeah, you're very dead.
I had the mine, and I actually had another power plant too, but there's no way I can play around the Spreading Seas. If I play second power plant, you just leave it on the tower. If I play mine, you just put it on the mine, because you know I definitely don't have another mine.
Yep.
So.
And believe it or not, I had some gas in the tank, so.
Yeah, I mean, I had the Ulamog too to at least not get carried.
Yeah.
And have
you
some
had to do
sort
it
of hope of
quickly.
winning, but
I
never
think
got off the ground.
And I could have just aggressively cryptic bounced your lands more to make sure I ultimate Teferi, and that's all I had to do. That game's over. Yeah. All right, well, that first game was a lot of mulligans from Ross. He should have kept that 5-card hand. I mean, can you believe it? This guy needs to learn how to mulligan better. Anyways, speaking from me, that's nice, right?
My 4-card hand had a turn 4 Tron through a counterspell.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just giving you crap. But that's going to do it for our first game. We are going to head to the sideboard and see what kind of hate we got in each other's boards. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on Versus Live.
Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Mono Green Tron and Azorius Control. Being a Karn the Great Creator deck, I am not doing much sideboarding and not making a huge upgrade here. Warping Whale just doesn't do a whole lot in this matchup. And while Wilt also doesn't do a whole lot in this matchup, destroying a Spreading Seas can be very relevant.
Oh, yeah.
And cycling for 2 is way better than anything Warping Whale does.
That's true. Yeah, you want your 1/1 that makes a mana for you? It's not great. So
both modes of Wilt better than any of the 3 modes of Warping Whale.
Yeah.
None of the 5 modes that good.
Yeah, Warping Whale is kind of sweet, though, against just Ragavan. Like, that's the main thing that I really like it for, so that's kind of cute. For my end, Chalice and Supreme Verdict, both completely heinous and unplayable, so I had to get those out. Both Veto and Dismiss are pretty good. And then I went back and forth with wanting some Flusterstorms. It really only hits an early Stirrings or Sylvan Scrying on 2, but that's a big deal. If I can hit that, that could be game-changing. Yeah. And then Prismatic Ending can hit a turn 1 map or something, which is cool, too. Also just not that great. So I decided with a 2-2 split just to have a little bit more versatility and access to other cards, but we'll see. Might not be great.
Yeah, those narrow cards, when they come up and they hit their best case scenario, you're super happy to have them. Yeah. And then you draw them on turn 7 and they're horrible.
Exactly. All right.
So let's hope we get more of the latter and less of the former.
Now, let's hope we get some more of those multi-4s. I really enjoyed that from you. I thought that was good content, explaining all the decisions through all your mulligans. We should keep that up. Wouldn't you think, Rob?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the viewers would want to see the other side of it, so that same decision process, but from the control deck, maybe going to 3.
Do you think I have ever went to 3 in my entire life?
I've never. Actually, yes, I have.
I think I probably have
Dredge
as well. But, yeah, Dredge, that's for sure. But, the amount of times I even go to 5, not great. That's you start with so many less cards.
So,
Rob, we'll take one question if you got it.
Ross, why have you chosen to play a Karn the Great Creator version of Tron instead of, like, the more classic versions?
I just like having the sort of small ball threat for when your opponent really disrupts your Tron. It's also just a good threat when you have Tron. I don't think this deck uses its sideboard that well to begin with. So I've just generally liked the card in Tron. I know a lot of Tron people disagree there, but that's where I fall on it.
Yeah, and I mean, there are times when it's really, really good. Certain artifact matchups. There's not a lot of those around right now, but every time I play Urza in a for fun league, I always play against Karn the Great Creator, and it's super fun. But yeah, I tend to lean on the non-Karn versions as well, but what do I know?
Mulligan.
Well, this land is pretty awkward if I do ever want to start with that, but I think this is still a keep, but that could lead to some awkwardness with how the rest of my hand is shaped out, but I think it's still worth it.
I had a nice 1-lander.
A 1-lander. Welcome to Tron. When you play, 18? They still play 18, 19, something like that?
Something in that range.
All right. going down there. Rob, you got one more question while he inevitably goes to 4 again?
Yeah, Heptagon wanted to know what happened to Yori and Baumeister.
I know, Heptagon. I've changed. Or
I actually took him out back. He had rabies. It wasn't pretty.
A rabid flying bird, huh? Yeah, that's dangerous. Yorian and me have just...
a sad day.
We've parted ways. I don't know if I'll ever cast Yorian again on Versus Live in Standard. You know, like, we're getting close to Innistrad. I might play some janky Yorian flashback decks, Rob, but for the most part, you might be back to 60-card decks. I know you're bummed about that, buddy.
Oh, let me tell you, I'm so disappointed.
Yeah, I'll just order some extra cards for the decks just for fun to kind of fill the void in your heart and in the decks.
Remind me of old times.
Yes, okay, perfect.
Another one-liner going to 5.
Four. I think I might need it with this hand. This hand is not great. Not great. Unless this 3 Spreading Seas hand, unless that card's relevant against you. It probably isn't, right?
The funny thing is, Corey probably doesn't know his deck only has 2 Spreading Seas.
I know. I was trying to test you to see. And you don't know what I changed. I added some cards. I knew I was going to play against Tron. Why wouldn't I add 2 more Spreading Seas? It's the best card. See, when you know your expected metagame is face up in front of you, you can really metagame pretty easily.
Should have made you play the winning list in the challenge. That only had 1 Spreading Seas.
Oh.
Instead of a second Spreading Seas, had a Wall of Omens. So basically the same thing.
Yeah, that's auto win. Yeah. Both perfect in this matchup. You are so good with Tron. We need to call. You need to get lessons from Jim, okay? Jim was keeping 7s, and they just Troned. Like it was kind of madness. Yeah.
The funny thing is not that like this happens for a show or like a week. It's just anytime Ross plays Tron in this show, this is what happens.
Exactly. That's why we put him on Tron. To be fair, we did think the matchup was going to go that I was probably going to be favored and beat you round 1, and you were probably going to be favored and beat me in round 2. And so far, it's looking like quite the opposite here.
Yeah, I guess it's opposite day here on Versus Live.
I guess
so. I should probably win the marbles.
Yeah, you probably should. I don't know. You're on a heater. You're on a 1-show heater. So
2-show heater.
Oh, you want to?
I beat Jim too.
Wait, I'm not Jim. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
And I've heard
it should be easier.
I've heard the song "You Don't Mess Around with Jim," so I mean that was on you.
Well, I messed around with him a lot. Okay, well, this is not a very good 4, but it will be a keep.
Okay.
Definitely keeping those 3 and
just 3 Tron lands.
Guess I've got to just keep that one.
Okay. Bring it on.
Urza's Tower map.
Urza's Tower ends a map. Okay. That was the draw we needed to be able to get a duel and prismatic ending this. Had it the whole time.
I told Corey to keep all 4 in. He only keeps 2, still has it.
Why would I want more than that? You only usually play 1 map.
17. Forest, go.
Okay. I'll draw this card. I'll play this card, and I'll pass to you.
End step, cycle, wilt.
Oh, you had the Spreading Seas tech there.
I will play Chromatic Sphere.
Okay.
I will sacrifice it for a green.
Okay.
I will play Urza's Tower.
Got it. Europe. Europe has been declared. All right, I'm going to play Teferi. I'm going to take up.
Europe, so it's the final countdown, right?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, we did learn who sings that recently.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, there. We've got him now. Forest. Europe.
This is how Ross Merriam Trons right here, ladies and gentlemen.
To be fair, that could have played Carnage Creator, right?
Yeah. I'm going to tick up. And I'm going to play this, and I'll pass to you. All right, well, thank God now you have it when I was not top dog, because that could have been bad the other way. I'll counter it.
You're up.
Yeah, I didn't really play around Karn there too well, huh?
You're at 16.
Thanks for pointing that out there, Rob. All right. I hope I have the other Teferi.
That means he does.
I don't yet. I will bounce absolutely nothing. Dang it, I actually don't. I thought for sure I was going to jinx myself into having it. And I'll pass to you.
Ooh. You can go.
End step, I will draw 2 cards. Untap. A draw. Oh, that's actually not good against you. I will play this land. Then I will tick up. And I'll pass to you.
Sylvan Scrying.
In response, I will cast Counter Spell.
Pass the turn.
Okay, I will untap. A draw. I'm going to cast Spreading Seas on the tower. Hey, give me that back. I'll bounce this and draw a card. And I'll play a land and pass to you. I have 7 cards, in case you were wondering.
Cycle Wilt.
Okay.
Sylvan Scrying.
Fluster Storm.
Pass the turn.
All right, 2/2 Shark. We got the beats. Untap. A draw. Tick that up to 2. We got the beats coming in.
18.
I drew a magic card called Teferi, Hero of Dominaria. Draw said card. Then I will play this, untap it, and pass to you.
Relic of Progenitus.
All right, you can have that one.
Sack Relic.
Okay.
Chromatic Sphere.
Okay.
Sack it for green.
Yep.
Players is mine.
Oh, you're so lucky.
You're up.
You're so lucky. Okay. I'll untap. I'll draw. I'll draw. I'll tick up. All Spreading Seas that ours is mine. I'll draw. Then I will play this land, attack for 2, and untap 2 lands.
16 all.
Pass to you.
And we just need to run a Tron and
Yep.
hope Corey's hand is all lands.
Yep.
Well, that's an ours is mine.
Uh-oh.
You can go.
Okay. That's actually pretty scary. End step, Solitude? I don't even think I want to do that, actually. I'm just going to scry 2. Top, bottom. And untap. A draw. Tick up. Tick up. Draw. I'm going to sack this.
15.
And then I'm going to bounce, draw a card. Come on, where are you going? We're just having some fun. We're just having some fun, buddy.
I don't know what it is about this deck. It does not like me.
It does not like you indeed. Yeah. Yeah, I think you should really keep, like, when you have all 3 of them together. It's like, you know, Exodiac in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Exodia.
Dang it. I was very low confidence on saying that, and that's where I got my start, man. That's the game I played before Magic.
You know what they say?
I feel like everybody did. Yeah.
It's better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt.
I go with the other
Look,
aspects.
To be fair,
Yeah.
Corey can't pronounce magic card names right, so
Hey,
Any hope.
blame my brother for that, okay? We know it started with Brad, okay? That's why when me and Brad and BBD are doing the podcast, it's just BBD speaks fluent Brad and Corey, luckily, so he can decipher what cards we're actually talking about. You're pretty good at it as well by this point. But yeah, without BBD, it would just, the listener would be like, these aren't even cards. Like, like Burning Tree Shaman, when we're talking about Burning Tree Emissary, BBD will be like, he means this, he means this. Yeah, we're special. We're special.
I know.
But you love us, right, Rob?
I mean, I kind of have to.
Yeah. Oh, well, this is how say you love Corey and Brad, Rob.
I love Corey and Brad, Rob.
Yeah! It's about time. It's about time. Uh-oh. How's your opener?
I mean, it's just two Tron pieces. Hope to draw the third, which is not a keep on 7.
Yeah, I think this should probably be a mulligan on my part as well. I think this one's close, but on the draw, I think I can ship this. Yeah, luckily I did.
I think I would keep that on the play.
Yeah, I think so too, because I can counter the Sylvan Scrying, and then Cryptic will actually probably do something.
Yeah.
But I think on the draw, that's a close mulligan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do still have the veto for turn 3 Tron and whatever I play.
Yeah.
Maybe it's still a keep on the draw.
Yeah. It could have been. I think it is close, but.
Yeah.
See, I can mulligan too. Just trying to make Ross feel a little better. Okay. I guess I'll keep this clunker.
I saw 2 Tron lands in a map, and I'm like, finally, and they're both the same.
This is great. I love Tron Day here on Versus Live. This is so good. I'll keep my hand.
This is my 6. No, you just don't keep this. It's not even good. It's not even that good if I hit. I've got like a walking ballista.
Yeah. So you have mulliganed 8 times so far in these 3 games. Got any questions? Got any burns for Ross after all these mulligans?
A lot of S for Ross.
A lot of F's in chat. Yeah, that's fair. That's justified.
I want to get like a
Also,
Jim behind me telling me like, no, this is the one you should have kept.
Yeah.
So to be fair, Ross, that first you threw back that had 2 Tron pieces, you only had 1 Tron piece, and then you had like a scrying or something, right? You didn't actually have 2 Tron pieces.
Yeah, it was another one-lander.
Yeah. People were wondering why you threw back the first one. You said you had 2, but you only had the 1 plus.
Yeah. I was counting Sylvan Scrying as the second Tron piece.
Gotcha, but you couldn't even cast it.
Oh, no, it wasn't a one-lander. It had Yavimaya. So I had a green source. So
okay. Yeah, you had 2 Trons.
And then like a couple spheres or whatever. And so it's just like hope to draw another Tron piece. That's the right one.
What do you have, 3 by now? I don't know. You've been shuffling so long, I don't even know.
This is my 5.
Okay. And you're on the play this time.
This is a keep.
Oh my god. Hell has officially froze over. Ross kept something above 4.
So we're certainly keeping those 4, and now it's just what other card I want to keep. We're definitely putting that one on the bottom. Do I want to give myself better chances of hitting Tron, or at least have a threat in my hand for when we do?
Listen to that confidence.
I'm gonna go for the threat.
All right, bring it on.
I will play Power Plant Star.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
I have a land go. Not the draw I wanted there.
I will sack Star for green.
Okay.
Card. And I will play Tower Sylvan Scrying.
I have the Flusterstorm. I'll take 2. This is great. Do you have another Tron land over there, buddy? I'm going to guess no.
Well, I got very punished for the play I made.
Yeah.
And Corey just draws the right narrow answers every time.
I narrowly escaped. Okay, I'll play this land and I'll pass
my
to you.
flip of the day.
Yeah, I think so.
Power plants. You're up.
I'll sack this. I'll take 3 more. Why not? I got some extra life laying around.
14.
My hand is still not good though, so have a little bit of hope. All right. End step. I will cycle a shark for 0. A 1-tap draw. I'll play a land and I'll pass to you.
Cycle Wilt.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
I'll cycle a shark for 0. A draw. Well, I'm not in love with this play. I'm going to play Teferi, and I will just draw a card, and I'll pass to you.
Ballista on 1.
Okay, we dodged the turn. That resolves. You got it.
You can go.
Thank God I have multiple other Teferis in my hand. I'll play one of them. And this one I'll take up and I'll pass to you.
Map.
Counter that.
Pass the turn.
Okay. I'll draw a card. I'll play a castle and I'll pass to you.
Relic.
Yeah, you got it.
Sack a relic.
Okay.
Draw a card.
Redraw for you.
Urza's Mine.
Oh my God, you're so lucky.
Karn.
Oh no. All right, I'll respond by drawing 2 magic cards and counter target spell.
Pass the turn.
I'm in trouble now. 3. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. I will play a Flooded Strand and I'll pass to you. Yeah, it's the first turn you have decisions of playing some cards, huh?
Yep. The entire match. Do 4 in hand?
Yep.
Okay.
So lucky getting that Urza Mine. Can you believe it, Rob? Some people just get all the luck when they play Tron.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
It's unreal.
Karn.
Yeah, I'm not in love with that one, so I'll counter that.
Chromatic Sphere, floating a colorless.
Okay.
Sack for green, draw a
Yep.
card. Ancient Stirrings.
Sure.
Three in hand.
3 in hand.
Do I try to extend another threat this turn or have the better threat lined up for next turn?
Dilemmas.
2 draws to a Spreading Seas is really the only concern.
I would enjoy one of my Spreading Seas.
I think I gotta go for it. I'll find Kozilek, Butcher of Truth.
Okay, let me read that one. I forget. Yeah, you get to draw 4 cards. You get to annihilate a 4. Put to the graveyard. Shuffle. Okay.
Then I'll play Sanctum of Ugin.
So you have it, eh? I'll tell you, my hand is not good right now. But it's about to get better, I have a feeling.
Is this a fact or fiction?
No. I'm just getting a land.
I'd be very scared of a fact or fiction.
Oh, yeah. There'd be a fact that if the Spreading Seas was in a pile, it would be into my hand.
Yeah.
There'd be no fiction about that one. Would you like to cut? You feeling it?
No, you're good.
Okay. I'm going to draw. Did you see that?
It's unbelievable.
I'll cast Spreading Seas.
You're supposed to put it on the mine.
Why?
Because that way, if I have to tap out to find the last piece, I have 1 mana left. I have 1 less mana left over.
The tower gives you less mana, right?
It's going to be the same regardless at the end, right? Because I'll have 1 tower that taps for either you put down here, I get a mine, I still have 1 tower. You put down here, I get a tower, I have 1 tower. But there could be a situation where I tap low, get the last land, play it, and then have 3 mana to do with something with that turn instead of 2.
Yeah, but what do you do with 3?
Oblivion Stone.
Yeah, I don't care about Oblivion Stone, though, so I'll still just put it on the tower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just saying, that's generally how we do things.
Yeah.
Granted, my deck doesn't have
Yeah,
Oblivion Stone
you
in
just
the main.
probably have Urza's Mine in your hand. You're trying to game me. Okay, I'll play this. I'll tick up.
I missed like 3 land drops this game. if you think I have a land in hand.
You're slow rolling. Yeah, okay. Then I'll pass to you.
Chromatic Sphere.
Okay.
Sack for green.
Okay.
Ancient Stirrings.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 if you hit it. All right, I'll Dovin's veto it.
A Relic.
Okay.
Pop Relic.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
I'll untap. I'll draw. I'll bounce Spreading Seas. I'll draw. I'll play Spreading Seas. I'll draw. Land and pass to you.
Pass.
Okay, I'll scry. Scry 2. I'll keep 1 on top, 1 on the bottom. A draw, a take up, a land, and actually, yeah, I'll play. No, I'll play nothing. Go ahead.
Expedition map.
I will counter that.
Pass the turn.
I will make a shark. That is a 6/6. There's the threat. A draw. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Draw. Oh yeah, that was an even better one. Attack.
I go to 14.
Foff. There's those for you. The thing I missed in Modern that's just reminded me of, I absolutely love Wilderness Reclamation Factor Fiction decks. They're so good. All right, I'll pick this to my hand. This here. Teferi.
Yep.
Draw. Untap. Pass to you. And you're at what?
14.
14. Okay.
Chromatic Star.
Sure.
Sack for green.
Yep.
Ancient Stirrings.
I will. Yeah, that resolves. This matchup's way more fun than the first one. I'm having a great time. You having a better time, Rob?
It's a funny time.
Okay, good. I'll take that as a yes. So I have the nice play. If you do find the Tower of Power, you can not Kozilect-Me. I get to bounce Spreading Seas, move it over to the mine, and wow, is that just a disgusting thing to do, you know?
Yep, which is why I will not be selecting Resist Tower.
Yep.
And I've just got to go for map, which is going to get countered.
Ooh. Map just finds you the same thing, but I guess it finds it
After
for
you make your
later,
decision.
yeah. Which is kind of cute. Yeah, that resolves.
So you have Archmage's Charm, which you should just counter it, but sure.
All right, Prismatic Ending at end step.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, that's the one that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, so I will pop it.
Okay. Pop, lock, and drop it.
Either way, I leave myself with a
Yep.
3-outer, but I'd rather just have another tower in my hand, so I'll go
Okay.
to tower.
End step, I'll draw 2 cards.
Yep.
I'll untap. A draw. A draw. Attack for 6.
Found the other Archmage, or other Spreading Seas, I guess.
What?
I'm at 8.
What? All right, I'll Spreading Seas this land. Draw.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, I think we're done.
Holding 3 10-drops.
I think we're done here. Even had the 10 drop covered. Like,
Yeah.
This matchup did not actually seem bad. You mulligan more than average, but I think Blue White just has the tools, you know?
Yeah,
This wouldn't be the matchup I'm super
when your
afraid of.
Tron opponent mulligans every game and never assembles Tron,
There it is.
you're
There's
going to
the
be
song.
good against them.
Hey, can you package up some of your salty tears? Like, I want to use that as a
Just
drink
saying,
later.
if you want to talk about this like it's representative of what's going to happen all the time, then like you're just talking nonsense.
You want to play a 100-game set for hundreds?
But yeah,
For Ross hundreds?
Everyone beats Tron when the Tron player doesn't assemble Tron.
You assembled Tron plenty of the times. You just, for whatever reason, selected an island instead of a land. I don't know why. Yeah. I didn't even know you played islands. Yeah.
And that game is rolled up if you don't hit your 2-outer in 2 draws. Right?
Yeah. I did.
I was liking you drawing 4 cards.
I did have 3 draws because I had another Teferi in hand, so
sure.
I just hit it. Yeah. On the second one.
So, if I get that, like I could have found a Karn, but I assumed you had a counter spell left over because you're still 4 mana up.
Yep.
So I could have played a second card and that turned off that Stirrings, but I don't think that was going to do anything. Whereas the Kozilek, if you don't hit the Spreading Seas, is going to draw me into a bunch of cards.
Yeah, that would have been scary.
Probably draw me to the point where I can insulate myself from Spreading Seas.
Yeah.
Or just have a bunch of threats on the following turn and finally stick something.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, you've got against the control deck, you've got to find Tron at least relatively early so that you can start playing threats and forcing them to, do things and not let them generate a ton of card advantage. I force you to use Archmage's Charms as counter spells rather than divinations.
Yeah,
and
that's
things
a big
like
deal.
that. So
and just the whole match, just Spreading Seas being able to Teferi bounce it. Which is just awesome, even if it's extra cards. It's like you just draw 3 cards off a Teferi activation. Like that felt disgusting. Yeah. It's the same with Wall of Omens as well, to be fair. And Azorius Control decks have played those when it was warranted, But I like Wafa's decision where it's just like, I don't need Wall of Omens. I have so many prismatic endings as ways to deal with Ragavans that, it's just about hitting the lands, and Spreading Seas obviously is lights out in Tron, but still great against a lot of the metagame.
Yeah, good against Urza Saga, good against Cavern of Souls, good against Creature Lands.
Honestly, just good even against like the Death Shadow decks and stuff too. Like it's not bad. Just shutting down a Blood Crypt, and then all of a sudden now it's really awkward for you. Like, okay, this blue is reserved for expressive iteration and drawn in the locks, and like if you don't have that, then all of a sudden you got strip mined.
Yeah. No, the Spreading Seas, I think, is a very heady choice here.
Yeah.
Normally you see that card as a 4/0 because it's a deck that's really, like Merfolk that's playing into it. But this is a 2-of here. It's a low opportunity cost card. You probably don't want to flood on them in matchups where it's not awesome. Like even against Shadow where it's okay. I wouldn't want to draw 3 of them.
No, because I just could be dead.
Yeah. Because then you
dress me down and with Death Shadow and kill me pretty early. So
exactly. So there's some diminishing returns there, but just the couple that you have are really nice. And you're able to use, especially with Prismatic Ending now, I think that's another card that really helps you out against Tron because you get to exile that turn 1 star or that turn 1 map and really delay them finding Tron for a long time, and then you eventually find the one Spreading Seas like you did.
Yeah.
I think that's a play that can happen quite often, where you don't need the Spreading Seas on turn 2, which is really one of the big things that forced sideboards to warp against Tron. Like the fact that you needed to interact on the first 2 turns of the game if you were on the draw, that you need to play a lot of them so that you consistently found them. Now that you have these flexible cards that are able to buy you plenty of time, you can just have a couple Spreading Seas here and some good counter spells, and you're generally all set. All
wrapped up, absolutely. So pretty cool stuff from the deck. You're not meant to play Tron, buddy.
Apparently not.
Your next F&M you play, or a modern 1K or something. Stick to your 1-drops and Death Shadows and
I watch all the Tron aficionados tell me I need to mulligan these close hands, but then I watch all the bad Tron players keep the close hands and then just rip the Tron land that they need.
Yeah.
And I'm just wondering, like, is that what I need to do? I just don't know anymore.
I agreed with you on every single one except that 5 that I said.
5 was just a bunch of stars. That was the worst hand.
But it was a bunch of stars, but you had 1 Tron land and you were on the draw. I would have kept it, but I'm not saying that it's for sure correct. But that's the only one I disagreed with you on. Otherwise, you're just getting incredibly unlucky, which was super, super fun to watch for me. I hope it was as fun to watch for you at home.
Why does this deck hate me so much?
This is just pure comedy and what we all live for here on Versus Live. But we do have one more match coming for the marbles. I think we've both been accurately punished, at least in each match, Yeah, you're going to draw perfect. Yeah. Bang.
First 4 cards I look at. Oh, yeah?
You should have did that.
Is this how it's supposed to draw? Is this what I need?
That's it. Yeah,
These
that's
are
just
the
the
first 4
first
cards of the hand I drew.
Unreal. You should have did that earlier. That one looks good. So you got punished with having to mulligan a lot. I got punished with not mulliganing enough in round 1. We'll see who comes back and gets the right amount of mulligans here for round 3. Before we go, Rob, do we have any questions from our audience? Otherwise, we'll kick it to match 3.
No, just a lot of yelling about Tron.
Good. Keep that up, everyone, and we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back in 5 minutes here for round number 3 for Zamabos. See you soon.
Hello and welcome back to Versus Live. I'm Ross Merriam.
And I'm Corey Baumeister.
And we've got Rob in the booth. Say the price is wrong, Corey.
The price is wrong, Corey.
Rob will be taking all of your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can see them and send his favorites over to us. We are wrapping up our Azorius Control Gauntlet with Corey being put to the test, trying to pilot Wafotapa's, masterpiece, which
It's hard.
generally doesn't go well. I made it easy on him in round 2 by not taking relevant game actions.
I'm warmed up, to say the least. Yeah.
We figured out that Corey can pilot a Wafotapa deck to beat a goldfish. So he is past that baseline level of competency. And now we're going to see if he can actually beat someone who casts spells and, actually tries to kill him, which didn't go so well in game 1 or match 1.
Yeah, that didn't go great. So we'll see how this one works. But yeah, Tron, that was kind of an absolute beating, and I will still stand by. I don't think you should ever play Tron in a sanctioned event ever.
Well, I have yet to do so.
Yeah, good call.
So yeah, we're good on that front.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm down to battle. You're just playing like some Grixis control, right? Like not Grixis Death Shadow, dress down stuff that we've been seeing from Spike. Just kind of the control stuff.
It's the Rakdos mid-range deck that's playing blue for expressive iteration, Drown on the Lock, and there might be something else in there.
Probably like some
one seal of removal. And sideboard cards, yeah.
Okay,
but the one seal of removal is a nice one to go with Luris.
Cool.
Very good against Murktide Regent.
Yeah, so just a nice deck when you don't want to live on the edge like you do with Grixis Death Shadow. That deck's a lot harder. And, there's some matchups where it's incredibly good. Like Tron, Blue-Eye Control, you'd rather be having that over-the-top Death Shadow thing and dress down, we can make a case for that just being an incredible card that is just now being found out for the metagame. But for the more weak at heart, maybe this kind of control deck is better just because it's hard. It's hard to put yourself that low. You lose to random things all the time, and it's just a difficult deck to play.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, a little bit more leeway here with how we play, but also just very powerful cards.
Let's do it. All right, I'm guessing you want to go first?
I will be on the play.
Okay. Got another good one?
I have a funny one.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it.
I'm going to keep as well. It's not awful.
I will start with a bauble.
Okay.
Bauble myself.
Sure.
I think I want that one.
Okay.
So I will play a Scalding Tarn, and I will play another bauble.
Okay.
And I will play a third bauble.
Okay.
And I will pass the turn, upkeep, draw a card.
This is going to be the struggle for Ross. Can he remember all his bauble triggers? Okay, I'll play a land and I'll pass to you.
On your end sub, I'll bauble myself.
Okay.
I do not want that one, so I will crack a Scalding Tarn.
You're at 19.
Let's get a Steam Vents.
Okay.
And then I will bauble you. And then on my upkeep, I will have 2 bauble triggers.
Oh, God, you're so lucky. So lucky.
And then I'll draw for turn.
Just Ancestral Recall over here. Bauble's so messed up.
3 bauble triggers in a row. I think that's a record for you.
I think so. He wants this match. He wants it.
Honestly, I'd prefer to forget them at this point.
Yeah. No, you'd prefer to forget that last match.
Bad.
You'd prefer to forget that match.
Yeah, I will play a Mountain and a Dragon's Rage Channeler.
Channeler, okay.
And I will pass the turn.
I will sack this. What was it?
Didn't want that Factor Fiction, I guess.
I could have taken that. I'd take it back. I'll just leave that on top and I'll get my Triumph anyways, okay? All right. So, let's untap. Let's draw. And it's a question of what do we want to do? What would I counter? What would I not want to counter? And I think the answer is I would like to play this land and pass to you.
I will cast Expressive Iteration and trigger Surveil.
Trigger it away.
I'll put this land in the graveyard.
Okay. That was the card that I was really contemplating. Would I counter it or not? And I'm still unsure. You'd think I would make my decision at this point, but that's a tricky one. Yeah, I'm going to counter it.
I'm going to crack a Mire. I'm going to go to 17.
Okay.
I guess 16. I had a fetch on the end step.
Okay.
Let's get a Blood Crypt.
Okay.
I will Lightning Bolt you and trigger
Okay.
Surveil, and that
Sure.
will get me Delirium.
So I'm going to be going to 13, it looks like. When all is said and done.
Indeed. Surveil, put this Black Leafless in the graveyard.
Okay, I'll be at 13.
Yep.
I'm going to go to 12. I'm going to get a Plains. Yeah, we'll get a Plains. Actually, yeah, we'll just get Plains. And then I'll play Teferi. And put that back into your hand. And draw a card and pass to you. I like that you kind of were priced into using the bolt there when this is a decent bolt target. It's not the biggest. Teferi's not going to be a big deal for a while for you, but still something you'll have to deal with eventually.
Yeah, I could channel her before playing this iteration to get her Surveil, but I think I'd just rather have more options as to what to do with my turn. So I'm just going to lead with the iteration.
You may. You got to be expressive about it, though. I don't know if I've ever seen you be expressive in my entire life, so.
Wow.
Maybe an eyebrow raise or something. Nothing out of this guy, Rob. Nothing. Okay.
100% focus.
Yeah, 100% stoned it.
This is exiled.
Okay.
Now I will play Channeler.
Okay.
Then I'll play Bauble and Surveil.
Okay.
I don't know how good that card is right now. You have 6 cards in hand?
I got 6. They're all magic cards. That I can guarantee you.
I just don't think this card's very good.
Yeah, it doesn't seem
In the
very good.
Colligan's command. And then I'll play a Scalding Tarn
Okay.
and pass the turn.
Okay. I'll untap. I'll draw. This is going to tick up for sure. That was kind of a cute little draw. And then I will pass to you.
And stuff, I'll Bauble myself.
Okay.
Yeah, I will accept that one.
Okay.
Draw.
Upkeep. I'm going to prismatic ending this. Just in case you have a... Well, you can't play an instant anyways. I have to vary. But, you know, I don't want you to be able to manipulate your deck in main phase.
Yep.
Do your thing. Got any artifacts in there? Okay, I guess you got one. All the baubles.
Start this turn with Swamp Inquisition.
I'll counter that.
Interesting.
Like you did not take my counter spell.
I'll buy Luris.
Okay.
And I'll pass the turn.
And you just got baubles in there?
Yep. All
Okay.
the baubles.
All the baubles.
Fetch brings you to 11.
Yep. We'll get a hollowed fountain here. I'll draw. I'll take out. That was an interesting draw. Now let's go with Spreading Seas on this. And I'll go with a Chalice on 0.
Sure.
And I'll pass to you.
Step crack to 15.
Okay. Want to do that to shut off the bobble play, then at least, because you have no other hits, right? Because then at least Luris isn't going to accrue any value yet. Chalice on 1 was definitely a consideration, though, and I could see it being wrong because you have a lot of 1s, and I don't have that many, if any. Yeah, I do not have many at all, but oh, that's a tough one. Chalice on 1 is very good against you, but Chalice on 0, surprisingly, you don't have any more hits in your deck, but your graveyard hits are much more face up.
Okay, I'll Unholy Heat the Teferi.
Yeah, I'll change it. I'll put it to 1 then. Yep, that's dead.
Play Luris.
Sure.
Play Water Grave Tap.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Not even gonna try. Not even gonna try to bobble. Coward. All right, I'll draw. I'll play a land, and this seems like a turn when you don't have Drown in the Loch available.
Fetch brings you to 10.
Yep. It's not as good as a Teferi. Well, maybe it's better. I'll Solitude. You gain 3, you go to 18.
Yep.
Pass to you. We got 10 or 11 for me.
10.
Okay.
Terminate the Solitude.
It's been terminated.
Pass the turn.
Okay.
I'm at 18.
Pass.
Pass the turn.
3/3 shark. Oh, draw. Man tap.
No, I'll terminate that.
Okay. Untap. Draw. All right. I guess we'll put you to the test. Got the Drown in the Loch?
No.
Okay. I will draw a card.
Sure.
Man tap.
Actually, hold on.
Okay.
In response to you activating,
Okay.
I'll snap Unholy Heat the Teferi.
Okay. So I'll draw and then I'll untap.
Yep.
Pass to you.
2.
I'm down to 8.
Pass the turn.
End step, I'll draw 2.
Yep.
Untap, draw. Pass to you.
Attack for 2.
A 3/3 shark. May I draw?
Yep.
May I block? Block.
Croxa.
That's a scary one. You need a land to be able to bring it back. Yep.
Mire Crack.
Okay.
I go to 17 from the fetch. I'm honestly not sure if I have something. Okay, I do.
Okay.
I think it's the last fetchable land in my deck.
Okay.
Indeed it is. I will go to 15.
Okay.
And I will escape Croxa. Oh, you're discarding that. I just assumed there was a counter spell or something, but that's
Nope.
cool too. Probably just another prismatic ending.
Oh, you know it.
So we want to leave some lands. We can exile a bauble. That's fine. Okay, you're up.
Okay. I will draw and then attack for 3.
I'm at 12.
12. Then, yeah, I have the prismatic ending for 2. Then I will play a land and I'll pass to you.
Now you have 2 cards in hand.
2 cards, yep. Actually, I'm going to hold this land.
Wouldn't mind another Croxa.
Yeah, that's exactly why I think I want to hold it. Still be very bad for me. But yeah, Croxa is just the card against this deck, you know? I was playing a little of the Dex Shadow Spike list, and he cut one Croxa, and I'm just like, nah, I don't like that. I kept that third one. I think that one's good.
Pass the turn.
I'll scry?
Sure.
Yep, I like those. Okay.
While you're tapped out.
It's very unholy of you. So I'm going to Spreading Seas this, stop your Croxa play if you do draw it at least. Then I'll play a land. I'm going to draw 2.
Yep.
And I'll pass to you.
Pass.
Untap. Draw. The Colonnade, and I'll pass to you.
Pass.
End step Snapcaster.
I'll drown that.
I'll counter that.
Yep.
And then I'll Archmage's Charm. Draw 2.
You'd already tapped the 5.
Yeah. So here's for the snap and tap land and then counterspell. Draw 2.
So really, this is for the snap because it doesn't pay for counterspell.
I put this tapped.
Sure. But that means this has to pay for snap, these pays for counterspell, this pays for charm.
That's what I just said.
No, you did it the other way.
Whatever. It's the same thing.
I'm just trying to make sure the audience isn't confused.
They got it.
You
Thanks,
pointed at
buddy.
Plains Island and said that was for counterspell.
Well, that's for you. How about that?
I'm at 13.
I got you at 10. I had you at 12.
Yeah, I probably missed a shark attack. I'm at 10.
Yep. 10 to 8, right, Rob? Okay. Then I will play a Teferi.
Sure.
I will bounce this, draw a card. I will play a castle, and I'll pass to you.
Pass the turn.
Instead, play Snapcaster. I will draw 2 cards. Untap. I will attack.
8.
I will take this up. Play a Glacial Fortress, and I'll pass to you.
I will play Seal Fire.
It's actually kind of lame, but I'll respond with Fact or Fiction.
Sure.
You have that's a good start. There you go, buddy.
Okay. I will throw these cards this way and bolt you twice.
Yeah,
and kill you.
okay.
Game over.
Yeah, that's how that works.
I have 8 damage. You're at 8.
I'm at 8.
The game is over.
There's nothing else I can do about that.
You don't have any cards.
Okay, I'll counter one. Yeah, that was a good Fact or Fiction.
Yeah.
That was closer to a fact than a fiction.
I kept a 3-land, 3 bauble hand and drew 2 lands and a removal spell off the baubles.
Yeah. And you do have some awkward ones, game 1.
Yeah.
I mean, I do as well, but I have less. I have less awkward ones in this particular matchup.
In game 1, I just drew way too many of my removal spells, like both 2 Terminates, 3 bolts of Seal Fire. It's just way too many of those reactive cards. Need more threats in the matchup. Maybe I'm supposed to mulligan 3 lands, iteration, 3 baubles.
Not a chance. Not a chance. You keep those every time, and that just happens sometimes. So
I had the fetch lands to give me a little bit
super
of
manipulate,
manipulation, and just
and all you wanted to find like Ragavan or something, and you're really on. I mean, I probably had the answer. I had Solitude from the beginning, but I didn't want to 2-for-1 myself, So a little unfortunate. That's gonna do it for our first game. After starting down against these elementals, the old Azorius Control deck is coming back. I want these marbles back on my side where they belong. So we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to be right back with sideboarding here on Versus Live. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Versus Live, where we are sideboarding in our matchup between Grixis Midrange and Azorius Control. On my side, trying to bring out some of the dead removal. Can't bring out a ton of it because I don't have a ton to bring in. But
Excellent.
the Terminate's going to leave, the Seal of Removal. These are the 3 big ones that are quite bad. We get to bring in some counterspells and Flusterstorm and additional Crocs that we saw how very good the first one was, and the second one might have been enough to really pull me back in that game.
It wouldn't have been, but it would have been close. I had another prismatic ending, but
and then another Inquisition, which will be nice. Get to trim 1 bolt. I'm leaving in the Seal of Fire over the 4th Lightning Bolt just because it can go with Luris and helps me hit Delirium.
Yeah.
And I think just being aggressive is very important. It also still hits both Planeswalkers if you minus them. So which Bolt it's so it doesn't have any real advantage over Bolt in that way.
Yeah, and enchantment is a tougher type for Delirium. Yes. So I agree on all counts there. From my end, I'm just trying to declunk the deck a little bit here. We saw Supreme Verdict. While it can be insane, we saw it kind of not be great. You were just one creaturing me, and then all of a sudden it's a 4-mana terminate, and that's not great. And you usually play in such a way where you don't go super wide to play around verdicts, so it doesn't tend to be great. Cryptic Command against Flusterstorms and just overall being kind of clunky. I want to trim. I'm not 100% about honestly any of these. Going down to 3 Shark Typhoons and down to 3 Teferis for Sanctifier Invect, Celestial Purge, excellent. They're going to be awesome. EE, I think, will be good as well. A lot better if I'm on the play to preemptively deal with Regavans and stuff, but even having EE on 1 can just change how you play the game. And I have to be wary because you have Kolaghan's Command to be able to kind of break that gameplay open, but if I play a little defensive, they could be really, really good against you.
Yeah.
All right, Rob, you got any questions from our lovely audience? Maybe about like any coaching lessons for Tron from Ross Merriam? Anybody interested in stuff like that?
None of that.
None of that. Okay. Dang it. I thought I was going to help you out there, but
fun to
I don't have the time anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
So what do you think about Hall of the Storm Giants versus Colonnade in Modern?
Hull versus Colonnade. In this deck, I definitely like Colonnade as well because it's a duel. And, being untapped on turn 2 or whatever is decent, but not insane. But I do like, of course, this option's not there in Standard, but I do really like the Storm of the Giants in that Standard is a control deck. Did you see that one pop up? Yeah. That one is nice. But yeah, I just don't think that card is, I think that card's barely Standard playable. I just don't think it's up to snuff for Modern. It's too expensive.
One of the things Colonnade does, too, is helps you attack Planeswalker sometimes that sneak through around your counter wall, and Hall is much worse at that because it doesn't have evasion.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, I'd rather have Mutavault than Hall of the Storm Giants, and I don't think that's very good. But it's just too expensive in a metagame like this. So everything's too fast. All right, Ross. GL.
I'll be on the play.
Okay.
Well, I have 4 bad removal spells in my deck, and 2 of them are in my hand.
Okay.
And I only have 1 land, so I think I'll mulligan this one.
This is a bit of a loosey-goose keep, but I think I'm going to keep. And there's certain draws where this hand is pretty good against. There's certain draws where this hand is not excellent against, but we're going to hope that Ross has the bad ones. You got one more question, Rob? Not right now. Empty queue for you if you want a question asked. We're getting excited, or I'm getting excited for, we got new sets basically coming out the next couple weeks. So this versus week, Modern, because we love the format. This was a cool new deck to pop up. But as far as next week, we have the historic new cards coming, and then just Innistrad coming. So we're going to have some exciting weeks here on Versus Live, y'all.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely keeping this hand. Definitely putting the Lightning Bolt on the bottom.
Okay.
And I think definitely taking 3 here.
Okay.
Question is, which black dual land am I getting?
Okay.
I think we're getting black-red.
Okay. Seems like the kind of go-to one to start with, and then either Water Grave or Steam Vents for the other ones.
Pretty red-heavy deck. I will Inquisition you.
Okay, you get 1 choice.
And pass the turn.
It's a little clunkster. Okay, I have a tap land, and I'll pass to you. We were hoping for the no turn 1 Ragavan, and we got there, so I'm decently happy about that.
Well, I chose to slow play the Ragavan when I had the Inquisition.
Honestly, and the thing is half the time you're right, and you should have done that if I have Prismatic Ending. It's correct. So I ran into those problems when I was playing against this deck last night with the Ragavan deck. It was like, if I jammed Ragavan against this hand, it would have been perfect, but there's some games where it's completely wrong, and it's just hard to know.
Yep. And now, I think with how clunky your hand is, I just jam both threats. I drew a DRC this turn.
Okay.
So I'll take 1 from the Islet, go to 16,
Okay.
and pass the turn.
Okay, I have a land, and I'll pass to you.
That was a very good draw. I'll play Bauble and Surveil.
Okay.
I will put a Colian's Command in my graveyard.
Okay. Gross.
I will...
That's an easy Delirium.
I'm going to see the top card probably from Ragavan because there's no way you're interacting. So I guess I'll just Bauble myself.
Okay.
And attack you for 5.
Ambush Viper.
Sure.
Block. There's no way you're interacting. Interact. I'll take
the literal one card in his deck. I guess if you had white card Solitude, that would have done it too.
Yeah.
So you're at 17?
Yep. Get out of there, monkey.
Impressive. Haven't played a land yet, so I guess I will iteration going to 15.
Okay.
Pretty sure I remember what this is. We'll leave it there. Or actually, we'll leave it there. It actually seems pretty bad against your Shark Typhoons.
Okay,
So,
another Ragavan.
Another Ragavan.
Yeah.
And top 3. Jesus Christ.
What a good day, Rob. What a good day.
I guess that'll go to my hand. That can go there.
Okay, I thought it was no land. I was like, oh no.
It was just no gas.
Okay, sure.
And then I'll pass.
Okay, I have a land and I'll pass to you.
Attack for 3.
I'll take it. 14.
I will play a Bauble and Surveil.
Okay.
Yeah, that can go there. I will buy Luris.
Okay.
Go to 14.
Okay.
And I'll pass the turn.
A 1/1 shark.
In response, I'll Bauble you, so I get to see what you draw.
Okay, I'm drawing this.
Drawing a land, that's probably good.
It was indeed good.
Then on your upkeep, I'll draw from Bauble.
Oh, poor Ross. Poor Ross. Okay, I'll untap. I'll draw. I am going to take 2. Sanctifier Invec.
Brings you to 12.
Yep.
So red and black cards go.
Yep. So your Delirium is all of a sudden not quite there. But you do still have Luris with Bauble. Can I exile the Baubles too? And just in case you get Delirium, I'm going to pass. I'm not trying to kill you here. I'm trying not to die.
Oh. Did you draw a counter spell too?
With how your day's been going, yeah, it would make sense. It really would. Pro black and pro red. Like, how on earth do you kill that card? I believe
you're just supposed to bring in the engineered explosives just to kill your 2 sanctifiers. Heinous card in all of their...
But to be fair, if it's here, it is a problem, I guess. Just you getting Delirium. I was going to think, it's like, I'm not going to pressure you, and DRCs can fly over at some point, but it's really tough for you to get Delirium with this card. Like, even you can't surveil it, right? Yeah, you can't even surveil black and red cards in.
I'll Inquisition you.
Inquisition, eh? Would you like to surveil?
Sure.
Yeah, I'll counter it. I thought I had yet. Exile that Inquisition.
Yeah.
Way to not go for the Luris. Nice vibe.
Okay, I'll play a tap Blackleaf Cliffs and pass the turn.
Okay. And draw. Play a land, and you're at 14?
Yeah, I have 14 to 12.
So what has to happen for you to get Delirium? I just don't think it's truly possible. I just don't think you can get Delirious anymore. I'm going to attack for 1.
I'm at 13.
And I'll pass to you.
I'll Inquisition you again.
would you like to surveil? Yep.
Yeah, that one bricks. That's fine.
And that's XL.
Yeah. Play a mountain. Play Laris.
In response, I'll factor fiction.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yay! You don't have the Fluster Storm. Oh, that's a bad start. Well, that wasn't good.
I certainly want to put EE away from all the fetch lands. Well, I guess you have a fetch land. Okay,
Yeah.
so that doesn't make a difference because you can get the red source and EE for 3, which is what you want to do.
Yep.
So now the question is, would you take 4 lands over an engineered explosives, or would you take? Should I put? Where do I put the planes? Basically, 3 fetches versus EE is still happening because they're just better than planes, I think. And honestly, the Sanctifier is just holding back all of these. I'm going to have to find something, and I have no idea what. But the Luris is still very important to what I'm doing. So yeah, EE versus 4 lands.
It's tough. It's close. Don't need lands, and I especially don't want to be dealing myself that much damage. I'm still okay with dealing myself some damage, but land 6, maybe cycle a shark if I want, maybe even hard cast next turn for the fan favorite. And then the cute thing about EE with a Shark Typhoon hardcast, I can tap out and do it for 6, but really only colorless for 3 and just make 6/6 sharks. And I don't know how you actually beat a hardcast Shark Typhoon. All right, I'll put this in my hand.
Okay, Laris resolves.
Yep.
I will play Mishra's Bauble Surveil. Card's a little late.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the 3rd type.
Yeah, that's true.
I will bauble you.
Okay. Teferi for me? Is it a Teferi for Corey? Oh, hello. Okay, well, I guess that means I can get in there for 3.
Brings me to 10.
Yep. I'll play another one.
Yep.
And I'll play a land, and I'll pass to you. Might have even been better just a hard cast and say go.
Play Bauble and Surveil.
Okay.
I'll leave that on top.
Uh-oh.
I guess I should have played this first. Let's imagine I Surveil twice, but...
Okay, yeah, sure.
I will Bauble you. And pass the turn.
Crack this down to 11.
Yeah, we got 11 for you, 10 for me.
Yep. And...
You can get the Rogran Triome.
Nah.
No.
I don't care about your Luris any longer. I've given up on it. You can draw 2 cards a turn. You're not beating these in Vex, is at least my thought. I'm just going to try to pressure you here, and I'm going to make a 2/2 shark. I want to hit Teferi or something, maybe. I'm going to draw a card. May I untap?
Yep. I'll draw... Well, yeah, I'll draw an upkeep.
Okay. I'll play this land, and... Then I will attack with these.
I'll bolt the 2/2 shark and Surreal twice.
Okay. Are you looking at 2 cards? Oh, okay. No. I was like, you surveilled that way again?
On top.
Okay. So take 3?
Yes. Puts me to 7.
Yep. Then I will play an EE for 1.
I will counter that. Keep these on top still.
Pass to you.
Draw for turn.
Okay.
Play Bauble, surveil twice.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think you have a blue instant or a blue sorcery, no Searing Visions or something. So I still think Delirium as it stands is impossible, but we'll see.
You have me at 7.
7, yep.
I guess I needed to bring in Engineered Explosives over some of the red removal just to have an out-test Sanctifier. I really hate this card.
Yeah, it's a rough
so
one.
annoying.
But yeah, it makes sense just a little better than a Bolt at least. You know, you can either put it on 0 for my Sharks. I guess it doesn't kill Colonnade, right? But
it's very
just
bad.
2.
It's very bad.
Yeah, your Bolts are
this card
bad
is
too,
just
though, right?
so unbelievably good.
Yeah, against this matchup, it's insane.
That I just don't have, like, I've drawn more bolts. I came close to burning you out.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have tried to do that, but I think you were going to win the race.
Yeah.
Like, I used a bolt on something last turn with you at 11. I probably should have just tried to draw the last one. Mm-hmm. It's probably my only way of winning. I'd be at 5. I'd basically be dead this turn.
Yeah.
And I would have to surveil this into the graveyard.
Yeah.
Surveil again into the graveyard and hope to hit off Bauble.
And I'm still got some gas in the tank, so.
Or Islet, yeah. Well, I mean, I would just be killing you right now, but I literally can't attack you.
Yeah.
You have.
Can't even like gain life off Luris.
I could potentially get Delirium.
Yeah.
There's Snapcaster in the deck.
There you go.
Clusterstorm, Snapcaster, but yeah, there's 2 snaps, so there's 3. So,
I would have laughed so hard if you just tried so hard and you finally got it. And I'm like, okay, 4/4 shark block, and you're like, God dang it.
Yeah, so I guess that's what I needed to be doing was to just surveil as hard as I possibly could and just try to get a snap in my graveyard.
Yeah.
And then attack you in the air, but like you have sharks going, it's so hard.
And
to do that.
you played around the one big turn where if you just went Luris into my counterspell, you're done.
Yeah.
The game's over.
Well, I Inquisitioned you on turn 1 with another. So the reason I didn't Ragavan on turn 1 was because I had 2 Inquisitions. So I could go Inquisition turn 1, Ragavan Inquisition turn 2, and you showed me a hand that didn't have an answer to the Ragavan and also didn't have another target for an Inquisition.
Yes.
So then I drew the 3rd.
Yes.
And then you just drew the cards, the cheap cards, and played them off the top. Which is the other. Like your hand is clunky, so if you don't draw cheap cards, then I can attack you and get ahead. Or if you had cheap cards, I can Inquisition them and trade and play that game. But instead, you just put all the cheap cards on the top of your library.
I did.
My draw matched up as poorly as humanly possible.
Thoughtseize those. Yeah, and I mean that's exactly what I was hoping you wouldn't do. But the thing is, it's not. It's not super out of the realm if you have discard spell Ragavan to discard and then just dash. Right? Just dash and never give a prismatic ending target. I think that's the best way to Ragavan against this because there's not many ways to do it. You just have to counter it. But the way my hand worked out and what I was drawing, situationally, if you played Ragavan first, I was probably dead. But I was going with the risk of hopefully you didn't do that, and hopefully I maybe draw into ending or something too. I still stand by the keep, but it was weak to one certain thing. You had it, but you did play around it.
Because my draw was also unique.
Oh, you got time for a pity game. You got time for a pity game. Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm going to try to bring in some crappy.
You want to try it out? Yeah.
Some crappy Engineered Explosives and see how that goes.
Well, I mean, this deck did.
They do kill sharks. At least that's something else they can do.
When I kept a hand that wasn't super risky, besides game 2 of round 1, outside of this, the deck has somewhat impressed me. I'm still wary of bringing Control to a open big tournament. But I mean, Wafatafa did it and absolutely crushed with it. I lost last night playing for 3-1 in a Modern preliminary against this deck, playing the Grixis Death Shadow, and it felt like there were those moments too where I guessed wrong, and if I guessed right, I was going to destroy him. But there's still Azorius Control has that level of redundancy that makes it really hard to hit with Thoughtseize Death Shadow decks. Like, if you remember back in the day, before any of this Modern Horizon stuff, Death Shadow was somewhat popular, and Azorius Control destroyed it. It wasn't close. There was just so many past Supreme Verdicts, and with Grammatic Anglers and Path, that kind of Death Shadow, you just were never able to accrue threats that would stick on the battlefield because Stubborn Denial wasn't getting through Paths and Supreme Verdicts. It was just a really bad matchup, and it's giving me flashes of that a little bit.
You thought Control was very good against Shadow?
Insanely good, yeah. straight Azorius Control that just had a bunch of pass and Supreme Verdicts, that deck was not equipped to beat it. You know, there was a GP I went to where like we played that deck specifically for that matchup, like tested it a ton. I don't remember the exact time frame, but there was a time when it was very good against that. I think Death Shadow now is more dynamic where that's not the case anymore, you know, but there was a time when that was the dynamic of it. Yeah.
I wouldn't have gone that far saying the matchup was very lopsided, but I did think Control was surprisingly good in that matchup.
Yeah.
Like because of the lack of threat density from Shadow. But
yeah, and just redundancy from Azorius. That was the tough part to get around from the Death Shadow side, you know?
Here there's just so much, so many reactive cards because the rest of the metagame wants you to play to the battlefield.
Yeah.
That it can be tough in this matchup. I have probably a hand that's going to lose, but I'm going to keep.
Yeah, I'm going to keep as well. It's good against some stuff, weak against another. I'll take 3. Pass to you. You guessed wrong this time.
Probably should have just led on a DRC. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
You're up.
All right, I'm at 17.
I'm at 18.
18. I will draw. And I will just play this land, and I'll pass to you.
I will play a Scalding Tarn and attack you for 2.
I'll take it.
You go 215.
Yep.
Pass the turn.
No buying of Lurrus even, huh? Okay, I will just play this land, and I'll pass to you.
I will play Expressive Iteration and Surveil twice.
Surveil away.
Land of the Yard.
Okay.
Land of the Yard.
I'll counter it.
I will take 2 to 16
Okay.
and attack you for 2.
I will go to 13.
You can go.
I'll untap. I'll crack this, take a pain, and verdict you.
Sounds about right.
And pass to you.
Still going to leave this fetch uncracked because of baubles.
Yep.
That said, I probably should have thought more about this. I actually drew a bauble, but I also think I'm just snapping this iteration.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. If I didn't have the snap in hand with that as my line, I should have cracked the fetch. But
Fair.
That's fine. We're still gonna make the snap play. I think it's just the best play available to us right now.
Snap it off.
I am going to get another Blood Crypt. So I'm at 13.
13 alt.
Snap the iteration.
Okay. It's good play. Good play.
Yeah, I've not played a land yet this turn. You got how many in hand?
I have 4.
Can you board out your verdicts?
Boarded out 1. Left in 2. I don't want to flood on that effect, but they are important.
I think that's going to be better. I'll exile a swamp, play it, play this bauble.
Okay.
Bauble you. Yep. And then draw on your upkeep.
Okay. I'll draw this card. Now I will take 2 to 11.
Yep.
I'll play a Teferi.
Yep.
Tick up. And your buddy, Sanctifier Invoke. And I'll pass to you. I might block. Are we just having the best time? Rob, you having the best time?
Sorry, I was about falling asleep there.
Oh, okay. With this exciting action, how could you?
You have 2 in hand?
2 in hand.
Look, I was just here for watching Ross mulligan to 2 with Tron. I don't know what you...
Yeah, we got close. think I might have made a misplay. I think I'm just realizing it now, but we'll see how it works out for me.
I will attack you.
I'll go to 9. Scary. 9 to 13.
I'm gonna play EE on 3.
E on 3, huh? Okay.
And I'll pop it.
All right.
That's the turn.
Pretty cute with Luris as well. So let's start with a factor fiction.
Yep.
1, 2, 3, a 4, and a 5 for you.
You shocked in that Hallow Fountain, which makes me think your hand is kind of land light. Almost makes me want to do this.
Oh, spice.
So I think get land, like I think either of those spells, 2 lands, is pretty ideal for you. Yeah, I'm gonna split it like that because I don't think you have another land.
Well, you're right. You are right. But I think I'm still pretty content taking the good cards.
So the lands.
Yeah, so I'll take these.
Yep.
Put these here, and I'm gonna Chalice for 0, and I'll pass through you, just in case you have land and you go Luris. Play Bobble. I don't want you to be able to get value off that. And naturally, you just drew Bobble, right?
Yeah.
Did you really? Because that would be hilarious.
No, attack you for 2.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was not blocking. I'll attack.
So I'm at 11.
And I'll go to 7. Yep.
Yep.
I'm not blocking that snap.
And then you have Charm and
Shard.
Typhoon.
Yep.
And then 1 unknown.
Yep.
Okay, I will buy Luris and pass the turn.
I'll untap. I'll draw. I'll play a land. And attack for 2.
I'm at 9.
Pass to you. Got a nice little face-up play here that Ross has to try to play around. The 1/1 Shark plus Charm Luris. Plus this beautiful mystery card. That's a close one. I want to try to do all I can to avoid taking 1 more point of damage. 7 is a lot safer than 6 against these lightning bolt decks.
Indeed it is. I will play Luris.
Yeah, I'll charm it. Counter target spell.
Sorry, this had to start with this. Seal Fire first.
Before you do everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went through a lot of different permutations.
Okay.
We came back to this. So we'll start with Seal Fire.
Yeah, seal resolves.
Okay. Now I'll play Luris. Make it very obvious what's in my hand.
Have you played a land?
And do it like this. I have not.
Okay. Do it like that. Yeah, I think that is gonna be fine with me. Yeah, resolves.
And now the awkward thing is I have to just pass because 4/4 shark will kill me otherwise. So no attack with the snap.
Yep.
This is a very awkward turn because of the Flusterstorm.
Yep. Agreed. So I'll cycle, make a 4/4.
Shouldn't have gone for Luris.
Yeah, it's a really tough one. So I'll draw.
Yeah, that had to have been a mistake.
On tap.
Yeah, I should have gone for this turn.
Okay. Now let's go with a attack for 4.
I go to 5.
And I'll pass to you. That's a good game.
Yeah.
I didn't try to charm there because a Flusterstorm would have been a nice little blowout. And if Ross attacked with the 2/1, I just take it. I could have cracked back for 10 with him being at 9 and 1. So a nice no attack. This has to be one of my favorite cards from Modern Horizon 1. It seems so weak right away, and I think Sam Black was the first one to play with it, and I'm just like, oh god, this actually just seems insane. So now you got options. Got EE available, Bobble.
I will start with an Inquisition of Kozilek.
Resolves. My hand's redundant. I wasn't going to cast both charms this turn anyways, so don't care about that at all. And it's exiled.
Yep. I will pass the turn.
I'll make a 4/4 shark.
That is fine. Before you untap, I will drown the shark.
Okay. Shark has been drowned. Your drown is exiled. Block this. You have to have a removal spell, but then it looks pretty bad if you do for me, so I don't want to overextend into that. So I guess I will just attack for 4.
I go to 1.
And shut off your fetch lands, and then I'll pass to you.
And yeah, didn't find another drown.
Yep.
It was awkward because I couldn't play the EE last turn and drown because then Corey, just can just go for it with the colonnade.
Yep.
So I just sort of had to waste 2 mana.
Yeah, and here I had the counterspell too, so you're locked out.
So showing me once again that you've drawn perfects.
Hey. Yeah, this deck's kind of sweet. I might have to switch it up and change this up for the deck I was going to play this weekend because this deck felt fun.
Yeah, I think I just played that last game a little sloppy, which is unsurprising given that we were playing for nothing, and I just want this nightmare to be over.
Yeah, that makes sense. It started off so well for you. I was mulliganing. I wasn't hitting my 3rd land for like 8 turns. It seemed like it was going to be your day, but then Azorius Control. And I mean, the thing is, for these matchups, it's really tough for you to play. Very easy for me. Because I mean, not very easy, but I react to you always. So you get to act first, and then I get to do something. And if you do X, I'm going to do Y. If you do Y, I'm going to do X. But for you, you have to decipher what's in my hand at all times because you're playing around certain cards, and that makes it a lot tougher for you, a little easier for the control deck, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
to an extent, of course, but
but I do get information with the discard spells. I really needed Thoughtseize instead of Inquisition. That actually would have made a huge difference in all of those games.
Yeah, that list just doesn't run it, or
no? It's just there's very little discard. It's very much
it's very meta for the other
Ragavan, which is what that's what this deck emerged to do, right? It was meant to win those mirror matches. So it's a lot of stuff that affects the board and a lot of card advantage. But my card advantage doesn't matter if I'm drawing into cards that don't do anything.
Yeah. And control wasn't on the radar, so a lot of these decks are having a lot of dead cards. So it makes sense that Wafatapa had such a great weekend because people are just not prepared for it. That's going to change next weekend because now every Shaheen Sarani out there is sitting like, I mean, I think we even saw him put an article out on Azorius Control. So we saw that on our Slack channel, which I do want to check out because this time I do think the deck's pretty good. So check out Shaheen's article there. But everybody who loves Control, like Shaheen, is jumping to try this, you know? So now it's going to be popular this weekend. People are going to think it's the same. And now people are going to be a little more equipped for it, or at least have it on their radar. I think he picked the perfect weekend to crush with a control deck.
Yeah, I mean, well, he plays control every weekend, so it's not that he picked the right weekend. It's just that the right weekend cycle back around, right?
Yeah. But he doesn't play often. He's not playing every challenge, you know? Yeah. He comes in every once in a blue moon. He's like, I'll put together something. I'll look at the top 3 most played decks. I'll play these assorted, numbers of 1 and 2 ofs, and then I'll win the tournament. That's just what
it's his 2 weeks a year, right? Where
basically
control's good.
I think it's once every 3 months when there's a PTQ for him to go play in a pro tour. He will play one, win it, and then cannot play anymore. That's Wafatapa for you. He's just that good.
Yeah, and obviously the Sanctifiers are just a huge issue.
Yeah,
and
in a lot of matchups.
Yeah, and you can play some like Pyrite Spell Bombs or whatever, but that's it's a big deal for a lot of these Ragavan DRC decks where it just shuts down so much of what you can do.
Yeah,
it's one of the important reasons to have Murktide Region in the Izzet build as a threat. Although even then, you might not have
enough cards.
Yeah,
you have a lot of blue instants and sorceries in that deck, to be fair. And dang it, I was gonna say one more point and I totally forgot it. So yeah, carry on. I completely lost. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, you had the Lura seal going on there, and I was playing around double seal the whole time until I realized, your seal gets exiled.
Yeah,
so
that's not a thing.
I was like, I
had a lot of options available to me if I had just enough time to be able to deal with the Luris, but. You didn't have or deal with the Sanctifier. You didn't have an answer to the Luris, but that meant you just had pressure. Like the one Colonnade was a huge deal. I would have much preferred that to be a Hall.
Yeah,
you wouldn't have been able to even activate it, and if you could, I could chump it for a turn.
Yeah, well, that's not a real card.
Yeah,
but I'm the one who controls the time. Okay.
But the issue, you were able to just turn the corner a little bit effectively. Maybe I shouldn't have been trading that damage with Snapcaster and Sanctifier. Like I did. I traded 4 for 4 basically. I flame rifted, and I could have just had us stare at each other. There's no way you're attacking into the snap, and that extra 4 life would have made a huge difference.
Might have, but I think games are generally favored that we look at each other. Generally.
Yeah. You generally like that. You want to play. You're the control deck. You want to play the long game. So I was playing based on that guiding principle. But as the game played out, I think if you gave both players 4 extra life, I would have been very happy.
Yeah, because your Luris was doing things.
Granted, you drew the second Sanctifier and Counterspell, so you still would have won. But based on what I thought you had, or what I'd seen you have, a couple turns earlier, I would have been able to then extend the Engineer Explosives. Maybe you go for the big crack with the Colonnade, but probably not, especially given your hand. Instead, you just laughed that you drew the other Sanctifier. And that you let me kill mine and have the Snapcaster in the graveyard.
I mean, I think I just played it perfectly. So against Tron, I drew my 2 Spreading Seas, right? Yeah. And then here, I didn't draw any of those Spreading Seas, but I drew the 2 Sancta Fire and Bags.
They were fun.
That's true. That's true.
Both of them actually went to.
That's true. Okay. Quit ruining my joke. Okay. I was trying to build the narrative of you're so unlucky all the time. I was trying to help you out, bud.
I just think this deck looks like it has a lot of card advantage, but it also just has a lot of very low impact cards.
Yeah.
And even outside of Sanctifier, like you have good removal for my creatures. Like I have Drown in the Lock, which is solid. It's nice having some counter spells in the late game. But my card advantage is Snapcaster Mage, Expressive Iteration, and Kolaghan's Command. Most of your removal is exiling. I have Kroxa too. But it's just not that hard for you to answer those and generate card advantage over the course of the game on your side with Shark Typhoons and Teferis and all of this stuff. So
I think that's just a worse Grixis dress down Death Shadow deck.
What I think is missing is Thoughtseize. I think if I had Thoughtseizes in these games, it's a big difference.
But I mean, I'm just saying in general, that other, the Aspiring Spike build, I think is just the next level of this. I don't think it's like one's good against the other, one's good. I just think, and I do think there's probably small tweaks where this matchup is slightly favored, because there's matchups where Death Shadow is not good, against a lot of Solitudes. I learned that lesson.
This deck is probably favored against Shadow because they have a bunch of discard and you have a bunch of good removal and can deal with their threats.
But if you're down on the rest of the metagame, then this is the worst choice.
So that's the dichotomy is you can overload your disruptions package with things that affect the battlefield. And one of the reasons Drown in the Lock is nice is that it affects the battlefield and gives you some play in other matchups. Or you can go for a more discard heavy suite and then be better against the control decks, the Tron decks, and the decks that are other decks that are trying to go over the top, the combo decks as well. So what we saw was a metagame that a few weeks ago that was very heavily dominated by the Ragavan DRC decks, and they're playing to the battlefield really heavily. And in fact, so was Elementals that came up to beat them. And so everybody was shifting to just try to play to the battlefield even harder in this mid-range arms race. And eventually that arms race inbreeds the metagame to the point where you can take advantage of it by going over the top because nobody has
Tron and Azorius Control and stuff.
So this is I think we played a list here in this Grixis list that was better suited to the metagame a few weeks ago. And the list that you played on Tuesday with Grixis Shadow was better, I think, for the metagame that is appearing right now.
I would have to agree. But very close because they play very similar cards, of course.
But they're just changing the disruption suite to be a little bit better again, a little bit worse in the play to the battlefield mirrors, a little bit better against the go over the top decks. And that's what you need to do now. There's a good amount of Tron, And
it constantly cycles too. So like when you're the people that are on top of it, like the Guillaumes of the world, those are the people that do well that weekend, and then they set the pace for the next weekend. And if you can be on top of that, if a metagame shifts that fast, which Modern is right now because it's the best format to play.
So many people are playing it.
I think it'll shift a lot slower once we get the new set. Just more people will be playing that, it'll be less obvious,
But completely agree that its rate of change will slow down a bit. And right now, we're going to get to the point where all these over-the-top decks and decks trying to beat them then don't have enough stuff that affects the battlefield, and you can get underneath them. And then it'll be a good time to be hammering people or human-zing and things like that. So that'll be the next evolution. Exactly when the metagame gets to that point where it's vulnerable to that next step is the tough part.
To be determined,
could be this weekend, could be next weekend, could be 2 weeks from now.
Or it could be your signature line soon.
It's definitely gonna happen. It's gonna happen soon.
All right, well, perfect. Well, you got some marbles to give to me.
No, I don't.
You got some subs to thank, but don't thank subs until he gives the marbles, and we want to go home. So
no, not getting up. Just thanks the subs, Rob.
I mean, well, you better give him the marbles.
Jesus, whose side are you on?
I mean, that's just the rules.
Whose side are you on?
That's them rules. I'll slip you that 20 after this there, Rob.
Thanks.
Yep, no problem.
Jesus
no problem.
Christ, gotta get up. I'm an old man. My knees can't handle this, Rob.
All right, now we're ready to thank some subs and sponsors.
Well, no new subs today, but thank you to all.
Oh, he got ya.
I know where you live, Rob.
Well played. Well played,
You live
sir.
like 10 feet from where I live. It's not that far. I know I just complained about having to get up. But I promise you, spite is a powerful motivator.
It was going to be an open door policy at that house, but no longer. So,
Well, if you would like to support Star City Games in another way, you can join SCG Premium. $7.99 a month will get you access to exclusive content from our fantastic staff of content creators, as well as some other perks, which are 5% off of sealed product, 10% off of singles, and 15% off of supplies. So head on over to starcitygames.com/join-premium and sign up today.
And it's already that time to pre-order the next set. We got Innistrad Midnight Hunt, right? Hunt. Okay, I'm going to get that wrong.
Midnight Haunt is a card from the original Innistrad.
Yeah, so how could I make that?
2 and a white instant next to 1 and 1.
Yeah, how could I mix that up?
Confuse Urza Saga and Urza Saga.
Yes.
The very original Delver decks used to play 1 Midnight Haunt.
I remember. Yeah.
To go with their the equipment, Runechanter's
The Scepter
Pike.
or something.
Runechanter's Pike, yeah. So you like end step, make 2 flyers, and then
Oh yeah, that
start
card was
flipping
great.
them.
That card was great.
It was like a one of. Anytime I got to snapcast it on their end step, 5 mana, make like a PN Kieran, a budget PN Kieran. It was great.
That's nice. Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to pick up some of this Innistrad Midnight Hunt, you can do so already. Might as well just get it in your cart right away. Have a nice little surprise. It's always best when you buy something and then by the time it's actually ready to deliver, you're like, oh yeah, I already paid for that. That's nice. So if you want to get this set and just make sure when it's released that we just send it out to you right away, go to starcitygames.com/previews to pre-order that.
Yeah, and if you need a little extra cash to pick up the new cards that you need, you can get rid of the old cards you're not using. Star City Games is always buying them, and the process has never been easier because there's so many ways to do it. You can use the buy list feature on the website. You can mail your cards into SAG and let them do the work for you. You can make an appointment and come into the store to do your business in person. And if your collection is big enough, you can make that appointment and have Star City Games come to you. So pick whichever option works best. And do always keep in mind that when trading in for store credit, you will get a 30% bonus.
Absolutely. And the Star City Games tour is coming back here next weekend. We're going to be doing the online edition. That will be Friday and Saturday for the satellites. You go 4 and 2 or better. You qualify for that Sunday championship qualifier. 5 and 1. You get 1 bye. 6 and 0. You get 2 buys and invitation into the Roanoke Invitational here over Halloween weekend, which I can't wait for.
Well, you're going to have to because it's at the end of October.
But I don't want to. Okay, I don't want to wait for it.
2 months away.
Okay, I can wait, but I don't want to. It's going to be a really fun event. We love the events here in Roanoke. A lot of activities we have even outside of the events, as well as just a great tournament run by a great staff. So if you want to be able to take that first step to qualifying for this and pick up some extra cash for you, if you want to play some Magic online, you go to starcitygames.com/SCG Tour online for more information.
Next order of business, we would like to thank our sponsor, Coalesce Apparel. If you like the shirts that we wear, you can find their entire collection of t-shirts, hoodies, and stickers at coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the gift code SCG when checking out to get 10% off of your purchase.
Absolutely. And last order of business from me will be the sale. This one's focused on standard, rotating, and non-rotating. For the rotating sets, which is Eldraine, Ikoria, M21, Theros, get out of here is what I want to say. Get those sets out of here for standard. But if you want to pick up some of those cards to compete in Pioneer, compete in Modern.
Send them in the deserts outside of Las Vegas. And bury them.
That's a good point. If you just want to buy all our Lovestruck Beasts, we're going to give you 20% off. And if you just want to go incinerate them because you've hated them for so long, you can do that. We're going to give them to you a little cheaper, 20% off those sets, and then we have 10% off the sets that are not rotating. So Adventures in the Forgotten Realm, Kaldheim, Zendikar, and Strixhaven would be 10% off. You can go to starcitygames.com/sale to get more information on that. Remember, that sale does end at 10:59 a.m. on Monday. You don't got another plug, do you?
No, that's it. You do the last one.
I just wanted to soak up this moment one more time. I was just remembering. I'm looking in your eyes and seeing the despair from those Tron hands, and I just wanted to take a mental note. But we will be back next week, Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We want to try to do a little historic action. We haven't fleshed out a full idea, but we want to try some of that historic action and make Rob's life completely miserable.
Oh God.
We got the clip of the day. We have the clip of the day. Thank you so much.
I don't even know what's trying to happen there.
For Rob.
I'm not sure what I did.
For Fall Merriam, I'm Corey Baumeister. We'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.